Yo, what's up, guys? I am currently waiting for the boys to get in, and while I do, I'm actually driving home right now. So I just got out of an appointment, and I won't be home for another 24 minutes, but the guys are going to hold the fort down. So um, they should be jumping in at any minute. So in the meantime, I am going to not look at my phone and drive, and essentially just talk to you. Okay, there's a dude trying to get in. He's waving me. Hi, dude. Yeah, go ahead. Bro's in a right turn only lane. It's great. All right. So this week, I think the boys should be coming in soon. I'm trying to like check while I drive. It's unideal. Very unideal. Um, the news this week isn't really much. It's basically just like we got the Andor trailer. I don't know if you guys saw the video that I uploaded yesterday, but there was something with Daisy Ridley regarding uh, oh, her essentially like, endorsing the fact that Kathleen is going to be full on part of the new sequel trilogy movies that they're going to be doing. And to me, I'm just still confused to how that's even possible. Because it's like if they got rid of George and he's not even there as a consultant, then if she's going away, which she is, then how is she going to be a consultant? It just makes no sense. And it's like, I feel like she's already done enough damage to the brand where they would want to sever ties. But for whatever reason, they're not. I'm just merging onto the highway now, so forgive me. I like literally have the. Oh, there we go. God damn, dude. It's literally like
Hey, man.
the most difficult stream I've done. One hand driving on the highway, the other hand trying to see if you guys are coming in.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Our daylight savings hasn't tripped, so it's usually 12 p.m. here that we start, and it's 11 at the moment. So when you're like, "Oh, I've got the news," I'm like, "Oh, I usually sit down like an hour early. I'm like,
I
I'll get the
know.
news. I'll get the
I
shit
know.
ready."
This shit
Fuck,
really
I'm so sorry.
the one. It's okay. The 1 hour really fucked me up too, man. The 1 hour like I
It's
jumped ahead. It. I don't. I'm so tired of them doing this shit. Like it's just it messes up
Isn't
your
Trump
entire schedule.
changing it?
Mm, no, I think he
I
said
heard.
he was going to, and then he like said, "Oh no, 50-50. Like some people like it, some people don't." And so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So ours changes here 6th of April. So I didn't even think of it. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Like ours doesn't change the same time yours does. It's fucking weird.
That's
Hey,
so
Stoops.
strange, dude.
It
Hey,
is
what's up,
strange.
guys?
What's up?
Oh, nothing much. How about you guys? Are we in show?
So
We're 100% live. Say hi to
Oh,
the
nice.
audience.
Hey, what's up, guys? What up, chat?
yeah, I didn't want to leave them waiting. So it's just like
What
you know how
up,
chat is. They're like late. You're late. It'll be like 30 seconds. You're late.
I
Mind you, it was
thought
like 4
that we
minutes,
weren't
so.
live and I was tricking Stoops, and now I feel like an idiot. I deserve everything that comes to me and more.
Oh,
What
I'm just happy he didn't do his usual like, fuck, I hate this stream. I hate my subs. Oh. He almost got him, too.
That's why we're usually late. It's because we just don't. We're silent for that 25 minutes. The rant every week. We just brace ourselves.
Yeah.
Star Wars is pretty freaking slow,
No,
isn't
it's
it? I mean, we got the Andor trailer, but
It's rough.
I mean, other than that, can you
Yeah,
guys hear
but
me?
bro,
Okay?
also it's like all we have is Andor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you
We'll
guys
see.
feel about modern music in Star Wars trailers?
I didn't like it. I mean, I'm not
Oh,
going to
I
say.
think it's abysmal.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it's
Strange.
impossible to pull it off, but like, it was weird. especially for a show like Andor that is very, trying to be more grounded, I guess. The fact that it would have a pop song and that of all choices. I mean,
Well,
at least
did
it
you
was better than
see?
the awful Acolyte end credits song.
Oh God, did you see that I believe they put 3 of the first episodes of Andor on YouTube for free.
That's kind of desperate.
Well, yeah, I think it's like a different strategy, right? It's like they haven't done this with any other, like even the Clone Wars, they haven't done this with that. So it's like, I think they're just trying to get a new audience. They're trying to get more eyes on this thing and bring more people in.
That's
Which is
hilarious.
it's not a bad strategy, but at the same time, like this is Star Wars, you don't really need to do that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you've got such an established fan base. If they just catered to the existing audience, they would have more of an audience than any franchise. But they're like, we have no audience anymore. We need to find new people. And it's like, you sons of bitches.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it just threw me off. I feel like other than the music, the trailer was pretty decent. I mean, in terms of what we saw and in terms of like the effects, but yeah,
yeah, whatever. It's like, how much can we like get excited about something that is about a spin-off character of a spin-off movie? Mind you, in a time that's very interesting for sure, but at the same time, like, I'm just not as interested if there aren't Jedi and the Force and the Sith, and I just don't care as much. Like, it's still an entertaining show. Yes, it's well made. 2 seasons, $750 million. I mean, imagine that. I don't see how that's even, comprehensible, but here we are. But at the same time, so back to what I was saying is like, it's Andor. This is not like Heir to the Empire season 2,
Well, if it's not like Kyle Katarn and Dark Forces, where he starts as an agent. He starts as a Stormy and then turns and then joins the rebellion. Then you get the Jedi arc. Like, if we had another arc, but we know how it ends, so it's like,
yeah,
what do you care?
Yeah, no, totally.
That's the difficulty of like Star Wars. Its greatest curse is its greatest asset at the same time, and that is the ability to hop around in the timeline. But when you have something like the sequels that really just muddles everything, it makes things feel lackluster. I mean, even to some extent, Luke in the Book of Boba Fett. I know we talked about it a few streams ago, but like, it's cool to see Luke, but we know where the story's going, so it's disappointing.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this.
What I
era.
really would like for them to do is just ignore the sequels, and then they can have their own little time bubble inside of this 30-year gap that they can focus on. I mean, the sequels is really just one very bad year.
Yeah. In the grand scheme of things, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. It's just so much brand damage with those legacy characters. I would not see Disney saying, okay, our sequels don't count anymore, because that's just like utter defeat. That's like a bigger admittance of defeat than Kathy stepping down. So much bigger. And I just don't see Disney, making that move. I would love it, but
multiverse. They love a multiverse now. They could do it. It'd be very, very, very difficult internally and externally, but they could do it. The world between worlds. Like, I'm just like, here's the problem with being theorists is that we're forced when something's bad to come up with theories to make it better. If that makes sense. Like, we have to jump through mental hoops of, okay, if we do this and this in the law, then maybe. But realistically, like you said, if it didn't happen, we wouldn't be like against a wall here. It cuts the legs off New Jedi Order and the Temple and anything Luke does in that time period till Rey takes over with her own Jedi. That's just like, well, you cut your legs off, dude.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that George, I mean, I was thinking about this last night, but the fact that we're even talking about Watto is just a testament to, George's ability to create interesting characters. And the fact that they say like, oh, he's not dead, and that's like news to the point where it reaches beyond the Star Wars fandom, I think is what I was saying.
That's just because it's just Star Wars is so dry that anything from the prequel trilogy having some new bit of like canon information just makes the rounds like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like if they announced in a comic book, you know, like we're gonna kill Rose, like I don't think anyone would care.
No one will give a shit, man. It was
It's,
like a terrible character.
So what exactly are they retconning? What did Vader ever directly go to kill Watto? Or some people were saying it was like a vision Kylo Ren had. I don't like when comics do like retcons way after the fact, especially because we see Watto get confronted by Vader and it's supposed to be like a pivotal moment in the lore. And then it's like, oh, they backtrack it and it's just a vision. It just is like kind of cheap. I don't know.
Yeah, there was I don't know, dude. They like to do that where they go. We know that comics and books don't mean much to them anyway, because you know they'll have one thing and then Dave Filoni will go against it, or he'll just continue on, you know, his own timeline. Which, to be honest, I kind of prefer because I don't see Disney canon as canon. So it's like anything that they make in the books or whatever, I used to be like, oh, okay, this is the way it is. But now it's just like, no. So, like, for example, when we saw Luke pull out Yoda's lightsaber in Book of Boba, that was supposed to be, like, as you saw, that was, like, Masa Amida was supposed to throw that into a fire, into a furnace during Order 66 as kind of like the final saber he throws into this massive kiln of all the dead Jedi sabers.
Yeah, it's like meant to illustrate the end of that era. And that was a big moment in those comics too.
It was. Yeah.
For arguably, I mean, one of the biggest. I mean, publicly holding up Yoda's lightsaber and being like, this is the official end. You know, that's a big deal.
Of an era. Yeah. Just fucking boom.
Those comics were pretty those comics are a highlight for me in terms of this the Disney era.
Yeah,
those, like,
did you
Vader
read
comics.
there was a new comic that came out, God, I think it came out a couple weeks ago. It was prequel trilogy characters.
I haven't checked it out.
I don't know anything about it. I haven't read it, but I was thinking about it. I just remembered, so I wondered if you read it or not.
I haven't yet. It's kind of like you. I value more the EU and Legends lore, exploring that. So I'm trying to go through NJO, and all the new Disney comics are sort of like secondary right now. I mean, in my channel, people don't really want those videos. They don't want videos about like the new Disney comics. They're more interested in the Legends comics that
nobody cares. Nobody
I think it was
cares.
called Jedi Knights, right? That was what it was called. I looked at some of the panes because there was like groundbreaking information. I remember it was a lot of like people were saying that there was stuff that was affected, like canon was affected, and it was the visions. That was the visions part of it. So it wasn't, none of it was real. It was like what ifs, if that makes sense.
This new one?
Yeah, Jedi Knights, I believe it's called. I think it's Clone Wars era, is it?
So it's not even in continuity, it's just what ifs?
No, it's in continuity. I can't remember if it's a vision or not. I'm sure chat will throw it out there. All I know is I jumped into it because there was a piece of information where I was like, oh, this changes everything. And then I realized they were just what-ifing themselves. And I went, oh, well, why am I bothering?
Is that what it was, Dash?
Yeah.
They're just what-ifs?
Yeah, it was kind of like visions of like, what if, you know, like the fight goes this way or instead of that, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, I'll try and pull up some pages while we're talking.
In that comic, in the new one that just came out?
Yeah, correct.
Is that the whole story of the comic, or is that just a moment in the comic? Or like, are all the issues supposed to be this what if scenario?
I believe it was just a moment in the comic. So all that happened was I went to go and buy the comic because I can't remember what I heard, but I thought this is newsworthy. And then I saw the pains of just being like, what if kind of meditations. And I went, well, why? No, I don't care.
Meditations is a good title for that. A series like that, actually.
Yeah.
A what if series.
That's kind of fun. Yeah. I like what if shit.
No, it's great.
Yeah, but you guys did it. It felt to me like, you know how you guys did what ifs ages ago. Like Disney goes, we want our own what ifs, and so they've just done it. But it's way too far. You know,
yeah,
but if it was 5 years ago.
They don't have the creativity to do it.
Yeah.
I think Star Wars what ifs are so fun because it's like you change one thing and just the domino effect. It just the entire universe changes as a result.
What was that? Students, what was that? Um, Sorry for the noise. This is raining like crazy. What was that? That old Legends comic. I have the compendium. I have like volume 1. I think it was like Visions. Star Wars Visions. And it was all what ifs.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the
Right?
yeah. It didn't have like Palpatine. He like summons like a giant snake monster at some point, and he's like doing rituals.
Dude, it had everything. Like Leia being chosen instead of Luke. It had Vader coming back as like, with a white suit of armor, and he was, in the light side.
Oh,
It
that
had
looks so
like
sick.
I remember that. Yeah.
The white suit Vader is
I
like
forgot what it was. Yeah. It's wild.
redeemed Vader. I think they should just do Clone Wars style animation for what ifs. I think people would eat that up. Just like sort of Tales of the Jedi, little anthology like entries. Like what if Qui-Gon Jinn trained Anakin? Just start off with a banger. Or
That's
even make parts to it.
So easy. Like literally just take any of the fan fictions that have gained good traction on YouTube as like a consensus of like, oh, this will work, because they don't know what they're doing.
Just
and then
adapt
they just
it.
make that. Yeah, and they just make like a cool story, cool what if.
And like that Clone Wars style too. I mean, the more that it improves, Tales of the Jedi blew me away. Just like the depth of the animation, where it's getting to the point where they feel like more present than they did in the original series, if that makes sense. A lot of the shadows and the animations and the way that the characters move, it has been improved upon so vastly, which is why I thought Tales of the Empire was kind of disappointing, because the animation is just so peak that when it doesn't hit home on the story basis, it's disappointing because it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it was. It was very like, what I also liked an animation style is 3D animation, but with 2D shaders.
Okay.
Like cell shading.
Yeah, like it I'm trying to think of an example. I know I've seen this a million times, and I'm like, that is so freaking cool to see. So like, for example, the new Dragon Ball, there's a ton of 3D, but with 2D shaders.
Yeah, I think that's cell shaded. That's kind of like Zelda Wind Waker, where they use it looks kind of like a comic, but it's got, or even Into the Spider-Verse is kind of like that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that stuff, especially for Dragon Ball games. I was just blown away when they started doing that in the early 2000s. I think they just had this really cool art style that just it felt similar enough to the show that it didn't rip you out of it, but it was
Did you finish
it?
Speaking of animation, I always thought that the Rebels animation just always bugged me. I never came around to it completely.
Yeah,
the thin lightsabers.
Really? You don't like those toothpick lightsabers? How dare you, Ralph McQuarrie? Oh no, it's shit. It was a good concept, but no. Too thin, just little pointy stick lightsabers.
Oh, the lightsabers. I mean, there's a reason why George made them a little thicker, but it was based on an original Ralph McQuarrie design, like you said. But the animation in general, I felt like it was just airbrushed. Like there was no texture to anything.
Well, didn't they have to go cheaper than Clone Wars, so they kind of came up with that, is what I heard. And I went, I get it, really? But I don't love it.
I remember being so annoyed at how thin they made Vader, because Vader has such a presence.
He does, yeah.
And for him to show up and just be a toothpick, and they improved upon it later, like in Tales of the Empire, they sort of mixed that a little bit leaner looking Vader. But Rebels, it's just like, even if you put it next to someone else, the mask in Rebels, how they like elongated a little bit.
It kind of looked predatory, a little bit insect-like. I didn't mind it, but again, like you said, I love an artist's different takes, but like Yoda looked like a piece of shit. Can we say this? It was this. He looked like a blob.
A gremlin, straight real gremlin.
Yo, they look like
did.
absolute shit, dude.
I forgot
It
about
was
that.
so
I
bad.
forgot about
Yeah, because your memory pushed it up deep down.
Yeah. No,
I
I
was
remember
just
now.
I was just puzzled because Rebels took so many steps to connect itself to Clone Wars. I mean, same creative team, pretty much, right? A lot of the same vision. So I get like wanting to make it cheaper, but it was just sort of confusing to have this animation style that's so drastically different and then trying to tie it into a previously completed series with its own style of animation. And that was
Wait,
just jarring.
you don't like self-referential art that just leans so heavily on it, then you're not going to like anything Dave Filoni's made post Clone Wars because he just jams. It's like Cad fucking Bane, get in there, and he's just like, come on, dudes, just stop. He has to do it.
I don't mind that actually. Like seeing Cad Bane, like I have huge problems with Cad Bane in the Book of Boba Fett. I just want to say that. I think that the way that he was handled is disrespectful in that show, frankly.
Yeah.
Who's worse, Cad Bane or the Inquisitor, Grand Inquisitor?
Cad Bane's worse.
Yeah, Cad Bane's way worse, dude.
He wasn't even powering. He's just smooshed head. It was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. I wasn't even talking so much about the design of Cad Bane, just like his entire presence in the show felt like somebody who had not watched Clone Wars.
Yeah.
no,
Well,
I'm not against it, but it
didn't
seems
watch
to be
Star
the
Wars.
like, yeah, it seems to be just like he pathologically has to do it. Like when I heard Mandalorian and Grogu, and I went, okay, this is going on a little bit longer, but maybe they can make a good movie to bring people. And then I heard Embo, and you son of a bitch, you
I
just
could see
had
that
to
one.
do it.
Dude, I know. It's like no one cares, bro. Like that's not even a fucking good villain. But it's like makes me wonder, is like, like maybe that's just the word that got out. Kind of like how Plo Koon was supposed to be in at the end of Mando 2 and it was Luke. But geez, I don't know, man. To be honest, with the stuff that they've been releasing, I really wouldn't be surprised if it is Embo, and that's like the main baddie.
That would be so bad.
Dude, it'd be horrible.
I would just rather they set up a bigger villain, a Dark Jedi, something akin to that. Mando's kind of tough because you want to give him an interesting villain, but you can't go full Force sensitive because he's just going to get crushed.
Yeah.
You could do Empire stuff, like make cool new tech like they did with Moff Gideon. But again, they've done that. So I think that they really wrote themselves into a corner with this Mando movie. What I thought they were going to do, and what I thought was going to be epic, was like a Mandalorian civil war between like Bo-Katan and like Din Djarin, and there was going to be conflict and people picking sides. I mean, even if they came out with a new movie and called it The Mandalorian Civil War, I feel like more people would be way into that.
Yeah, but you'd have to divorce him from Grogu. That's the problem. Is Grogu is meant to be on the temple. He's meant to deal with Mando problems and start a new enclave, or they just can't. As long as they're together, they're going to half-ass stories because they're two disparate stories that they need to tell. I agree. Like, look at KOTOR 2. If you remember when Canderous Ordo created a new enclave for the Mandalorians, and he was Mandalore the Preserver, and just how that like Mandalorian lore is innately so interesting without the Force, and they just can't do it. They can't stop selling Grogu toys.
So you would want to lean in fully to Mando stuff, like
I want a show called The Mandalorians that ended with Grogu going off with Luke, and then Luke to start his new Jedi Order with Grogu as his first student. Thank you. That's just cool. I would have been done. Happy as Larry. We got two separate series.
That would make too much sense, Dash.
No, I know. Imagine if I was in the room there and they just pointed at the whiteboard that says like lesbian dinosaurs. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll leave. I'm sorry.
That's too easy, Dash.
Yeah, no. Hard mode, baby.
We have to make this as difficult on ourselves as humanly possible. No, I think this Mando movie's tough. It's tough. It's going to be make or break. It's an odd choice, first off, because, everybody associates Star Wars with the Force, with lightsabers. So to have the big climactic return to the big screen and have it not be based around that is a bigger risk than I think a lot of executives at Disney realize. Because I think what we've learned is they're just looking at it strictly by numbers. I mean, the second I heard that Grogu had been like the first Star Wars character in like 10 years to outsearch Darth Vader in Google. Do you guys remember hearing that? That like Grogu,
Now that you
Baby
said it,
Yoda.
trips something. That's my brain doesn't accept it, but it does. But that's the power of normies. Like that's why we're so antiquated in Disney's eyes. And I'm sorry, Nia, if you're talking, we can't hear you. I just checking in here. But that's why they want the normal, the audience, the people who play games on their mobile phone, like versus hardcore. You know what I mean? They want just casual fans, because that's where you can get the people who just buy the Grogu and they don't dig into the lore and they don't question shit. They're like, I see it, but it just hurts my heart, dude.
Yeah. But then at the same time, they do stuff like they give Andor his own show. So it's like, it's two separate like trains of thought, where Grogu is hugely popular, so we have to push him. But then it's like Andor, I don't think anyone was walking out of Rogue One being like, Cassian Andor was the greatest character I've ever seen. But it's maybe they just saw an opportunity to tell a different story than what they were used to in Star Wars, which is what I would feel is the overarching theme of sort of this Disney era. Is this is not the Star Wars that you know. This is our Star Wars. This is our takes on it. And that just seems like a counterintuitive way to approach a franchise. We're not going to give people what they want to see. We want to give people what, we think is good for us, or I don't understand them. I think that there's a lot of powerful people over there that are just not Star Wars fans, or at least not fans of Star Wars legends. I mean, they even came out, Kathleen Kennedy's famous quote that there is no source material. I think that's pretty telling to the whole, overarching narrative of Lucasfilm and Disney and how they're approaching things, period. When they come out and they say, not only they could have come out and they said, we love all these stories, we love these renditions of these characters, but we're going to take it a different direction, sort of like Zack Snyder said about Batman. But they even went another level lower, which was there is no source material. They didn't even admit to having indulged in any of it. They just straight up said, to us, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. People asking about Theory, because he was in the car, he must have dropped reception. I'm actually amazed this stream didn't drop us because he was hosting it.
Yeah, he's getting his tattoo touched up, right?
That's exactly what he said he was doing. I think he's coming home from it, but he went through some bad rain and reception was questionable. In regards to Disney, someone said the other day, they were tweeting at all three of us, and they said Rogue One was the first universally praised and accepted piece of Disney Star Wars material. And obviously you and I both know that it was just heavily extracted from Dark Forces, Kyle Katarn's story. I mean, they called her Jin Erso instead of Jan Ors, Kyle's partner. Like they didn't even try and hide it. But I digress. And Gary Whitta actually wrote a review for PC Gamer, it was a publication that basically, one of those PC magazines in the 90s. He actually wrote a publication like breaking down Dark Forces story. And then he goes to Disney and, they're like, we need a story. And he's like, what about a dude that steals the Death Star plans? And they're like, make it a girl and hide. I love that. But I think that they begrudgingly went, well, all our ideas aren't working, but they liked the idea of being liked. And so getting critical acclaim, they went, well, Rogue One did well. We've got to follow it up with Andor. And we want to win. I think they do want to be liked and to be revered. They just keep swinging for the fences with their own stuff. And we just say it's a colossal mistake because of how, look, I'm going to say this, dude, and I'm going to get a lot of flack for it, but I have not enjoyed a Zack Snyder piece of content since The Watchmen. 300 was good. The Watchmen was a faithful adaptation of the digital novel, not the digital, graphic novel. And my favorite Batman movie to date is actually The Dark Knight Returns 1 and 2, where Warner Brothers just did the animation with, I think it was Peter Welling, who was RoboCop's voice.
Yeah, he does
And,
a great job.
He's so good. I didn't like it at first because he's like, shut up. And I'm like, what kind of a voice is that? You know? And you were so used to Kevin Conroy being ubiquitous. He was in everything. But over time, I loved him. I loved the depiction of Superman. And so seeing Zack Snyder kind of Snyderize it, where he focuses on the moments versus the narrative, I was like, just make the graphic novel of The Dark Knight Returns, just like the cartoon did, and you'll have a hit. Maybe not all of the things that they did, like the toy maker and the punks from the 80s saying chicken legs, licking legs.
Yeah.
So it's like,
the what's it called? Mutant leaders, the mutants or whatever.
Dice. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm like, okay, it's very 80s. Okay. And the nipples, the metal nipples.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah,
all right,
the mutant
that's not going to
leader.
translate. Yeah,
I love all that stuff though. It makes Gotham feel like alternate history, you know, which is what the show is.
Yeah, it would just be hard live action to take seriously a dude with metal nips, unless Batman just like tweaked him off at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm very pedantic about, if you have source material that is that clean and universally praised, why try and reinvent the wheel ever? And the more somebody kind of digresses from that and thinks that they know better than the original artist, like Frank Miller in this scenario, the more it kind of annoys me. And I'm not a full purist. Like, I watch Lord of the Rings. I prefer the novel. Okay, I prefer the novels, but I still enjoy Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit. Well, not so much The Hobbit, but like The Hobbit digressed so much from the books and kind of did their own thing, where you can feel it slip out of that pocket. And I feel like Disney doesn't have
source material.
Yeah, but Disney doesn't even stay in the pocket. They're just like, we don't have anything. And it's like, bro.
No, but Disney hasn't even looked at what they got, or at least they didn't when they started. But just real quick, talking about the Zack Snyder and the Dark Knight Returns, I thought that was such a terrible place to build a universe from, because the Dark Knight Returns is an endgame story. It's more like a Logan than it is like, you know, World's Finest. It's the end of the Batman story, and it's the end of superheroes in this version of DC, because, you know, Superman is so effective and Batman's not really supposed to be a vigilante, but he decides to anyway. So the fact that they decided to start their universe with that story was so puzzling to me, because I always thought of it as like an end game thing.
Same, but it's the thing is, to your point, my favorite, it's probably one of my favorite, and I'm not that deep in DC, so I apologize to the hardcores that are like, you know, there are so many better stories, but that is my favorite story so far. I just love Frank Miller. And the other one that is my favorite is Death and Return of Superman. I used to have the comics, but I had the game on Super Nintendo made by Blizzard, who makes obviously World of Warcraft and has killed Diablo, etc. And I loved Superboy. I loved the Cyborg. I loved Man of Steel. That arc of Superman dying and all these guys trying to fill the shoes of him, and how he got their shit. You know, I love Superman getting the shit kicked out of him. Him versus Doomsday was brutal when he got killed. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Such a cool character. He's such a cool character.
They smushed the two storylines. I'm like, bro, you need way more time. You can't just smush, but he smushed. And that was my
Doomsday's a trilogy ender, man. It's not, you know, second outing.
Exactly. So that's two endings in one for a beginning, and it just didn't float. Who would have thought?
Yeah, that movie, the fact that they even put Doomsday in that movie and thought that they could pull that off was so annoying to me, because it's just they were just moving at light speed, and it sort of feels the opposite sometimes with Star Wars. So does it feel like they're crawling sometimes to you?
No, it's the opening crawl for like however long the series is. Sometimes I think that they're just like,
this is the dark times repeated for like 5 years.
I like Andor. I do. I really do. I think it's moving away from Rogue One and even any of Kyle Katarn's stuff. I really enjoy the series in ways, but there are I can't think of many moments out of Andy Serkis kind of looking down over the ocean and saying, I can't swim after all that build up. But that took so long to get to. And when I watched the trailer, swinging it back to Star Wars, if I may, and pull me back out if I've gone in the opposite direction. All I was looking at, thanks to you, is number one, no aliens. Number two, they're using the wrong lens or something for the camera because it doesn't look like Rogue One. It doesn't look like Star Wars. It's too bright. And I feel like when you use like a flat camera or whatever it is that they use with Star Wars costumes, if you don't get the camera right, the costume looks like a cosplay. Like the Acolyte looked like cosplay, and I'm like, I think it's the camera lens or something where it looks like material from this world versus a Star Wars world. Do you feel that at all? Like,
I can kind of see.
You're looking at it.
I would have to go back and see specific examples, but I totally believe what you're saying. Yeah, but the thing with Andor for me, I like we've talked about it before, but it's good television, but is it like Star Wars television? You know, Star Wars is very niche, whether people like it or not. It's got a whole lot of things that define a Star Wars story, and Andor sort of goes out of its way to avoid those things, and that really works for a lot of people. But for others, it doesn't. It just sort of feels like, you know, a spin-off that's not trying to be a spin-off. You know what I mean?
No, I completely agree. And the thing that you and I in theory have in common is we all try and articulate and understand how that the EU works so well and how it's not being depicted properly with Disney. And one of the things that I find fascinating is yourself in theory say how much you love the Force, especially, and I'm in the same boat. I love the Force and Jedi, but there is so much in the EU that doesn't deal with the Force that's so compelling. And I think that's why that theory is very much George Lucas centric as well. I'm speaking for him. He's probably off camera right now looking at it going, don't talk for me. He just did a phenomenal video on Star Wars 1313 and Underworld, which presumably would have no Force powers, would just be the underlevels of Coruscant, which we've spoken about. And I can see a whole universe being built there that still feels Star Wars. But for some reason, unless there's a lightsaber in screen, Disney, and even if there is, Disney can't get lightsabers right. They can't get the Force right, but they can't. So therefore, making a non-Jedi piece of content double falls flat, if that makes sense.
What did you think of the duels in the Acolyte? I know that, you know, we trash all over the Acolyte, and it's one of the worst pieces of Star Wars media, if not the worst. But I'm gonna be real. Like, the duel was pretty entertaining. I don't think people saying that it's better than the Phantom Menace duel or that was their goal is, first off, in my opinion, that's just so not true. But I admire that that's the bar that they held themselves to. So what did you think? I know we haven't really talked about it. I kind of dug it.
I actually appreciate that take, because I'm not somebody who will hate on something just because it's like in fashion to hate on. Like, I always see good and bad if it's there. And some things I liked the Acolyte's attempt at changing the Jedi costume. I didn't think it landed fully, but I went, oh, I can see how you've tried to do like a KOTOR robe. And I don't mind if they try and step out of the bounds of, if it's a different time period, they can do stuff like that. So I appreciate that. I appreciate them attempting the light whip, because that thing will screw people's lives up in Jedi universe. They don't know how to deal with it in dueling. As you know, was it Lumaya versus Luke when he had to get the Shoto? Because he's like, how do I deal with a whip? But the duels, nothing stood out to me because my problem was twofold. Number one, I felt the pacing and the Disney suddenly allowed people to get maimed in lightsaber duels, and they would just come back a lot more, if you notice, like say in Ahsoka and stuff. So I was like, well, these people can get stabbed. People can get stabbed, and it kind of changes the stakes. But what I realized after watching a lot of the the Saber competitions lately, after getting my Saber, which is actually somewhere here, is that protracted lightsaber duels are really, 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 really hard to do. Only Revenge of the Sith does it really well. Like, if you look at Obi-Wan's exchange with Maul, I was watching Ewan McGregor talk about how they cranked the camera down because usually they speed up to make it look more action-packed. He said they were going that fast, him and Ray Park, they had to slow it. Those exchanges are the cleanest, most, like, when when he does the guard at the back, then the front with when Maul does the 1-2 with the saber staff, and we never seen a saber staff until that point in canon. Like, well, not canon, obviously the EU. We had Exar Kun and other people, but I digress. To answer your question in the most roundabout way, I didn't find that. I felt more like they were trying to create spectacle, and the bag. I don't even know their names. The bad guy with the helmet.
Kair
was OP, and I was taken out of it, dude. Like, there's not a moment where I went, this is actually really good. And even though I didn't enjoy it, if there was a high point, I would have seen it. So I'd love to know the moment where you just went, this is great fighting.
There's a few things. I like that. First off, I don't like any of the story of the Acolyte. I want to say that before I talk about how much I like this part of it. I love the way that,
no, you can like something. You don't have to preface it.
I feel the need to preface it because part of me is like, are you really about to say what you're going to say? Like, yes, but I love the way that Kair was introduced into that fight, how he's like in the trees and he sort of levitates down. I thought that was really interesting and looked really cool. In terms of the action, I liked that it felt like it had stakes. A lot of times in Star Wars duels, again, because of Sabine and duels like with Ahsoka that we got where we sort of know all these characters are going to make it out. It was nice to see characters actually have to put their lives on the line and be outclassed. I liked the way is it Yord? Yeah, Yord talked about how the stranger fought and how like he had never seen anything like that before. And I appreciated the guts to kill off these very poor characters. But
the red shirts.
The guts. Yeah, the red shirts.
That dude Yord, every time he spoke, like on social media, even his character, I hated him so much. I don't know why.
Really?
I hated him. I for some reason I zeroed in on Yord. I was like, and then I'd see on Twitter there was like all these people going Yord fandom, Yord #1, and it just made me hate him more. I'm like, you sons of bitches, you know he sucks. Stop trying to prop him up because people say he sucks. Anyway, apologies. So we're getting to good stuff.
Yeah, I just like the way that Kair fought. I thought the integration of the cortosis was sick. That was something that I liked seeing. And I like that they sort of introduced a new way to duel, which was you have to account for this helmet. And it makes sense. Like the Sith is deceptive. Overall, if you take away all the moments where Kair is trying to be sexy for the camera, I didn't hate his character. Unfortunately, he's spends the majority of his screen time looking sexy.
No. The setup of he was just a pauper helping the character along. And I apologize for not remembering their names. My brain refuses to do it.
I know.
I like that. I like that trope of the bad guy watching and pretending to be because obviously that's a mirror to Yoda being the bumbling fool at the start with Luke on Dagobah. Like, I get what they're doing in it, but it was so heavy-handed. When I was a kid, I didn't think Yoda was anything more than a troll because of how he spoke. Man, hitting R2 with the stick. I loved it.
Yeah.
I saw through him straight away, that deception. I went, this guy's clearly like, he's got the haircut and stuff. Yeah, they just missed the mark with him, I feel. But to your first point, do you remember in the Clone Wars micro series when Dooku did Force Levitate down with that sexy cape thing? And I was like, holy shit. That was that was a moment and a half. I couldn't believe it. I was like, they can fly? I was Finn for a second.
And then Vader does it a few times too. Like in the Battlefront games. Like I remember hating. Yeah.
It's funny because they said he did it in Empire. I think that's what's quoted in Wikipedia of like Vader used Force flight, but really he was like falling downstairs with wires on. Like it wasn't that moment where you're like, they can stop. Like that is a pretty cool. So I'll give him that. Yeah, the concepts, and yeah, I did like the helmet, and I love the effects of cortosis because you would hit yourself if your saber sparked out mid duel.
Yeah. And I like the way it looked too. I like the way that it looked in the Acolyte, where it's sort of the lightsabers sort of sparked and sputtered for a second. Of everything in the Acolyte, I dug that. I think people saying that it's the greatest lightsaber duel ever is just, I don't even think it's top 5. but I do think it's good.
Yeah, I got no problem with if there's moments in the Acolyte that are great, I will 100% sing their praises. I'm not scared of being, someone going, "You're a shell because you like one thing in Disney." Okay, cool. There are definitely moments and pieces. Like when we're talking about Rogue One, in my head, all I see is Forrest Whitaker as Saw Gerrera, and I love that dude.
Yeah.
I love everything. I love everything about him. Borgalit, and he's like lies, deception. I'm like, yes,
you're all here for it. I thought Rogue One
he's-
did scale super well. Sitting in the movie theater, like watching the Star Destroyer sort of float back in space with Tarkin, and it pans over to the panel being put on the Death Star. Gareth Edwards, who did Godzilla and who's actually doing the new Jurassic World movie, I thought he captured the scale of these super weapons and these ships really well. That was probably my favorite part of Rogue One, honestly.
Yeah, I'm scared to talk about Godzilla and Jurassic Park. If you don't know this, Stoops actually started with a lot of Godzilla and dinosaur stuff. He's a dino freak. That's what they call him. That's the technical term. So he knows everything, and I'll be out of my element. But I do love your passion for it every time, and I do remember Gareth Edwards did direct some of that stuff. I think it was probably the strongest directing for a Star Wars Disney film. It looked like a Star, and I know that sounds so reductive. It looked like a Star Wars, but it did.
it did,
was,
yeah. Grandiose.
But people say, "Oh, well, not everything's in that timeline. Not everything fits." Blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, cool. Then you've got companies like BioWare who made the RPG Knights of the Old Republic and created a new universe of Star Wars, essentially in the timeline, thousands of years before. Was it hundreds, thousands, centuries? Anyway, long story short, it looks like a Star Wars, and they had to redesign everything going backwards. You don't ever question it. You don't ever play KOTOR and go, "This doesn't look or feel like Star Wars." So there is a through line that you can do consistently and, explore different areas. It's just really hard.
Again, with KOTOR, yeah, it's super grand is the thing. It captures the scale in those stories, which when you're on Disney Plus, sometimes it's hard to capture scale. There are some times with Mando and other, one-off episodes where in the Book of Boba Fett, for example, the space station that Mando goes to when he has the Darksaber and he's like training with the armorer, I thought that looked incredible. But moments like that where you really capture just how lived in this galaxy is, just visually by the way it looks, it's a little more rare. And Andor, I know, is trying to go smaller scale in some parts intentionally to flesh out other parts of the galaxy. But to your point, KOTOR does an amazing job at establishing just how rich and lived in everything feels.
And everything that branched off it, like the comic book of the same name, even Star Wars The Old Republic MMO still feel like it. They established another Star Wars universe in universe, so it's doable. To your point though, this is what made me laugh about the Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian is I really like the armorer character. I thought she was good until Disney realized people loved her, and then they kind of played her out a bit. But have you noticed her and Boba Fett with the gaffy stick? Whenever they fought stormtroopers, they like Stormy's dumbasses got close, and it's like, bro, they've got guns. They just stand back, but somehow they get hit with like the hammer and tongs or the
stormtroopers have always they've gotten worse too. And this is one thing that I like about Andor is that apparently the stormtroopers, they're trying to illustrate that they're more like Marines than just normal fodder, but it doesn't really work when every other stormtrooper story just shows them being mowed through like nothing. So yeah, that's always bugged me a little bit.
You know what was the best stormtrooper story I think that they could have made into a film easily is Battlefront 2's single player campaign when the Stormies, you follow them going through each of the settings, and in between the missions they talk about it, turning into Vader's 501st and stuff like that. And they were the elite units and how it got watered down. But there's something so cool about their perspective. And obviously that's why it's beloved as well. Like Battlefront 2 was actually sick story-wise.
It was, yeah. It filled in that gap really well too, because at the time we didn't really know what happened to the clones. We didn't know what that transition looked like. So for me, Battlefront 2 was That might be my first introduction into the wider Star Wars galaxy, actually. That might be the first thing that I consumed that wasn't film.
Really? Theory, we can't hear you if you're trying to talk. Just give him a sec. God, his icon is so menacing. I prefer your SW. I'm like looking at it, like he's staring at it into my soul.
Yeah.
Scary
That's
shit.
isn't that him for when he was
Yes.
in the back of the tank
Yes.
and film?
Yeah, just at a glance, I thought, oh, that's Malgus. No, it's not. It's Theory, and he's looking at me. He's pissed.
But yeah, the Stormtroopers, man, it always bugged me. The fact that they are like fodder. Everybody points out A New Hope, but obviously plot-wise, you know that they were ordered to let them go to lead them back to the rebel base on Yavin, which is something that a lot of people seem to miss. But after that, especially Andor is the biggest culprit of like making these elite stormtroopers just look awful. Once you go that route, once you have them lowered that much in terms of a threat, it's hard to get their legitimacy back. And then when you start introducing Jedi, it's like obviously they're going to get mowed down. So
I don't know. I like that a Jedi could catch a stray blaster bolt. Like sometimes they're portrayed as too invincible. I think that, especially video games, you have to. But you know, Jedi are still fallible, and I like that aspect to them. That enough blasters will kill them,
overwhelm them. Yeah. There are moments in the Clone Wars that like when Savage shows up and he kills the Padawan and then or he kills the Master first and then the Padawan, and he doesn't even have a lightsaber yet. Do you remember that?
I don't remember the lightsaber-less fight. I watched the other day him and Maul fight.
It's super quick. He just rolls up with a bunch of droids. It's two Jedis who are backed up against some sort of fortress or temple, and the Master says like, stay back, and charges at Savage, and then Savage just like punches them into the wall. You know, it's really good.
I love Clancy. Is it Clancy Brown who voiced him? And he voiced obviously Mr. Krabs, and he's in every Star Wars thing. Phenomenal actor. I love Savage as well. I love that Dooku was like, all right, I got a new guy that I need to use. How do I expedite his training? I know, I'll just zap the shit out of him with lightning. He'll become proficient in the dark side. That's all it is. Like, lift these rocks while I zap you. Done.
Savage was just a grenade, man. You just pull the pin and duck.
That's such a good way to. He was a devastating force.
Do you remember when he like force chokes Obi-Wan and Anakin when they're fighting, and then he gets shot with all those blaster bolts, and I thought he was cooked. I thought he was dead.
Yeah, that was yeah. And I know Filoni talked about that. Like he was like, oh, in Rebels, Vader when he shows up is going to have stakes because of the fact that we saw the encounters with Dooku and especially Grievous as the mustache twirling villain, where he'd show up again and again and again. It was really a kid show serial where there was no stakes, if that makes sense. So yeah, with him, and I think Maul as well, I was surprised at how far they went with their stories in the Clone Wars.
I really like that arc. Do you like the whole Mandalore Maul arc and how it all comes together?
I understand it. I don't like Maul as a Black Sun kind of piratey dude. I understand that he wanted power, but I just look, when I think of Darth Maul, I think of Peter Setharowitz, whatever his name is, reciting the code of the Sith. I'm really far in the Plagueis novel, which I'm sure you are.
I actually do. Last night I was listening to the second book of the Bane trilogy, and I was like, I really should put this down.
I just put it on in the gym.
Plagueis.
Or when I mow the lawns or drive, and it goes like Audible has this function, it'll auto turn on when you drive. Anyway, Maul, I always liked Maul better as an assassin weapon. And I know that he has to grow past that point, but I always saw him like, I felt like his story was more true to him in Shadowhunter, but he was still under Palpatine, or Lockdown. I just felt like him becoming a pirate lord and the culmination of what we've seen of him, in canon, kind of made sense with Obi-Wan, but like when he showed up in Solo gratuitously just to threaten people, I thought that is because he's a pirate lord. He's not Remember, like Dark Jedi, like Jarek, he was like, I'm going to find a Valley of the Jedi, a source of power to make myself more worthy in the Force. Maul's objectives weren't Force-based. They were just like power, but in a dumbass, like commerce way.
I never
just
really
felt
thought
like-
of it like that, actually, man. That's an interesting point. No, you're right about Maul really didn't pursue anything Force-based wise ever after he was defeated. I mean, you can count the holocrons kind of, but only that was just to get to Obi-Wan. There wasn't any sort of secret knowledge within the holocrons that he needed or desired. And I think that maybe that was omitted because George was planning on going back with the sequels and doing more Force-based stuff with Maul, but he needed to explain prior how he amassed these forces. And maybe his reintroduction in the Clone Wars had something to do with that. But yeah, no, now that you say it, Maul going out and going to these criminal organizations, I always interpreted it as just pure desperation on his behalf and trying to consolidate as much power in a galaxy that he knows is about to go through a drastic evolution. So that's sort of how I interpreted it. But yeah,
look, I could be off base, dude. Like I could, but when you look at how Palpatine covertly gained power, Plagueis, or anybody, like Maul putting his dick on the line by showing up with, like, he was very brash and loud, and obviously he got punished by Palpatine. I thought that was so bizarre. When if I was him and I was consolidating my power, I would want to do it internally with the Force and the dark side more
like
than
Jarek.
external. Jarek is a beautiful example. He found a thing to go for and he just went straight for it. He didn't crash land on some random planet.
They should have just adapted that. They should have had Maul go after the Valley of the Jedi. That would have been sick.
A lot of these things would be a lot better than, you know what I mean? It's already been written for us, so it's kind of cheating just going, oh, why don't you just do that? But I always thought that the Sith, the whole thing about the Sith was that they wanted to live forever, and they knew that they couldn't because of the limitations of being a dark side user. So they do the quick and easy route in hopes of getting something long lasting, which always shoots them in the foot. That's always why they always fail. So I guess I see why he would be desperately trying to gather forces to him. But I don't, when you sit and think about it, the Sith, you think about them cultivating the dark side on their side. That's like their number one tool. And he's an assassin, so he's not really good at being out in the open.
Right. What did you think of when Palpatine rolled up and actually fought? Because I've heard a lot of mixed things about that fight. A lot of people don't like the choreography. They think that he seems a little rubberish at parts, if you will. Like when he bends back and blocks the blade, like Savage's blow, and it just doesn't move him at all. The physics don't always make a lot of sense, but I mean, I personally think it's cool as hell.
I'm going to say something. I love the micro series of the Clone Wars and all of the lightsaber battles. The Clone Wars show itself, I felt that a lot of the lightsaber fighting wasn't exactly my speed. It didn't really move me. I loved when he did the double force smash against the wall, and then he ended Maul's reign by making him whimper. But even that seemed out of character for like, it seems like there's two Mauls. There's Peter Savar. I should stop trying to say his name. Peter Essence Maul, and then there's obviously Sam Witwer's Maul. And Sam Witwer's Maul, maybe he's still broken due to being cut in half, but in the comics, I accepted for some reason. I blindly accepted that Maul could somehow sustain himself. But when Maul came back in the Clone Wars and had to reconstruct his legs from garbage, and they just didn't really address it well enough for me. I don't know. Everything about that arc, I liked it, but it didn't just fit snugly. You know what I mean? Like, I got it. I liked it, but I didn't love what was happening. I love his design. I love the way that him coming back kind of was cool, but also I felt like some of it was gratuitous.
Interesting. I actually really liked when he came back, Dash. I thought that the sniveling, weak aspect of this character who was promised such greatness but was ripped from it like so unceremoniously. But because when Obi-Wan beats Maul, it's the worst thing that could have possibly happened in his entire life. It's worse than death because he lost to a Padawan after he built himself up as this ultimate warrior who, through his power in the dark side and through his alignment with Sidious, thought that he was entitled to everything. So it's like, what happens in your mind when you think that you're entitled to that, and the next day you wake up in a pile of garbage? I think that's fascinating. And the idea that he would hold
I think you're
to,
right.
yeah,
I think that my problem with the character is actually, you've just explained it. Maul was trained as a weapon, and he didn't have enough grounding into the Sith philosophy to actually draw on that side of things. And so what does a weapon do when it's cornered, like a cornered fox? It becomes desperate. And the more desperate he, like, the less Sith he was, the more pathetic. And so I get that, actually. I think that I've missed probably a really profound part of his arc, was that he just doesn't have any grounding to draw from. So he tried to create it himself, and it was just some bastardization. Like, he wasn't the smartest tool in the shed.
Yeah, which is something that I've always liked about Maul, is that he is very much one of those characters who his arrogance is exploited all the time. To the point where if he could just put that away, he would be so much more effective.
But he can't, because that's his sword. You're right. Yeah.
In the show, when he goads Obi-Wan,
Hey-o!
We're back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. The sound and video, and I got home and my computer was just freezing, so I restarted it, and then it was having issues, and my microphones, my headphones not working. So, anyways, sorry to interrupt. Please continue.
No, you're good. What was I?
Chat.
What was I talking? What was I saying?
You're talking about Maul in the show, and that his hubris makes him weak. It's his arrogance. You know what? I'll say something while you're thinking of that. I always had a problem with Obi-Wan gripping in that shaft and jumping up and help me. What is it called? The generator shaft. And he jumps up. He does a force leap. I'm cool with that. Maul doesn't react for like 5 business days and gets clipped, right? Then I really liked in what was the book that had Jax Pavan? Not Coruscant Knights. Maul Shadowhunter. Jax Pavan got away. Maul basically nearly lost to this guy who was a human without force abilities. And Palpatine says to him, your arrogance is literally your detriment. Don't toy with your prey, because you will get fucked up for it. And Maul's like, okay, dickhead, I know what I'm doing. But he obviously it's almost like he can smell fear, and he gets off on it. Like, literally he gets powerful from it. So I always had a problem as a kid, like seeing Maul get clipped by Obi-Wan. I thought, how, from that position of power, the high ground, that's all you need, baby. And then he dies. But I realized that it's all arrogance and stuff. But that's a long time to not react, don't you think?
Yeah, it doesn't play super well for sure. But talking about your point of Palpatine and his relationship with Maul, that's another thing I actually liked about the Clone Wars and how they illustrated that. The fact, and in the Darth Plagueis novel too, because in the Plagueis novel, when Palpatine senses that Maul has lost and that he's lost to a Padawan, you expect him to have this big moment of like rage and fury. And while he is extremely angry, and he in a comic he even forgets what he's saying to a member of the High Council, I think, but he just puts it out of his mind immediately. And I always loved that. And I love that as an explanation as to why he didn't check and confirm that Maul was dead. That it's just like everything else to him. The second it's no longer useful, he doesn't even pay it a second thought. Think of how easy it would be to confirm that Maul actually died with somebody like Palpatine with those sort of resources. And he just doesn't, because he stops caring. It's not useful anymore. And I always thought that was so cool.
Compared to Yoda, find him. Yeah. He was like, get that little fucker.
No, that's great. No, that's a great example too. It's like, it shows you how Palpatine looks at Yoda. It's like, you have to, no body, no death. Am I missing something?
Why is everyone pausing?
No, I'm waiting for Theory to talk. You haven't been here for so long. I'm like, Theory's got to talk on his own stream. Like, come on, let's get some Theory.
No, I didn't want to interrupt because I came in late, and it's weird without headphones. Like I can't hear myself. I don't know. Well, I can hear myself, but you know what I mean. That feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just chilling.
Well, this is
volume
disappointing
up.
because
Is it bad? Is it? Yeah, dude. It's. God damn it.
it's probably 30% too low. What I really wanted to hear this week too, maybe you
What
can
now?
monologue this,
Better.
is that, yeah, Theory, you talk about George Lucas and like your favorite timeline in Star Wars that's good. The volume
Okay.
is Jedi. It's Force based.
Yeah.
I want to hear then. Why would you like? What is your take then as someone who's so Force centric on being excited for Underworld? Because your video got me juiced for again. I've put it away in my head, but the Coruscant lower levels. You know, I like scumbags. You know, I like the dark, gritty side of Star Wars. Tell me what you would be so excited for in that.
Literally that. The dark, gritty, just balls to the wall. And he said it was going to be extremely violent, and it was going to be just like sexual themes, and like this was going to be a show that wasn't really about the Jedi. It was more so about the scum and villainy, which is Boba and all of the dirty shit that he has to go through and do, and the people who hire him to do things. Like I think it would have been a really cool show
with HBO, which is the best.
Yeah, and this would have been probably released. Shit, I don't know what, like probably the first season would have been out. I'd say probably 2015. I'd imagine.
It was like lined up with his meetings with Bob Iger, right? It was like neck and neck.
Yeah, and then there was that scandal, like one of the guys went to jail or something or whatever it was, and then literally the next day he was supposed to have that meeting and it got canceled.
It would have been interesting for sure, because when George makes Star Wars and when he returns to it, it's always in the forefront of his mind, it seems, that he's not going to just rehash what he did.
Right.
And he's going to rip it open and create new aspects that we didn't even think about originally. Right. So, I mean, look at the prequels. Like in the originals, politics isn't really that big of a deal. They're at war. It's all about the soldiers, but politics is the biggest deal in the prequels. It's a concept that's so intrinsic in Star Wars that wasn't even developed until the fourth film.
Yeah,
wow.
Like that's what started it all. And it's funny, it's like a trade war, a trade federation tariff war is essentially what started it.
Tariffs, yeah. Nothing sexier.
Yeah, I know. So many people ask, like, what do you think about this? And like, I will say the video that gets me a ton of praise that I never expected was that video about Trudeau that I made a couple months ago. There's so many Canadians that come up to me, not to say like, hey, like I love your videos. They're like, hey, thanks for that video about Trudeau. I was like, what? Okay.
Like, what
So
about
like
my
I'd say
Star Wars
I don't want
videos?
to get arrested, dude.
Well, no, now we got this other. Dude, it's bad up here. We just got. I think tomorrow his new stand-in is stepping in. Oh God. Anyways,
That's why. When I think of HBO, all I think of is like Tony Soprano and the lower levels being like having like a Richie April second in charge alien. He's like, I hate the way you made me fucking ride you and stuff. Like Boba Fett is just Tony Soprano having sex with aliens and stuff, cheating on his Camilla wife. I don't know why he'd have a wife, but lower levels. Can you imagine?
It's not like anything George has ever done either.
The 1313 game was like he was like actually very hands-on with Red. And he was halfway through or something when the game was already almost done. He wanted to make the main character Boba Fett.
Yeah,
which means that show would have had a ton of Boba.
Who do you think would have played? No, we can't even mess with that. That's 2010. You don't even.
I don't know.
It'd be a Kiwi though, right?
Have to be.
Yeah.
Have to be, yeah. Someone that looks like a very young Tamora Morrison.
Zendaya.
That's mean. Why would you put that image in my head, dude? That's brutal.
That's terrible.
They're gonna put her in everything eventually.
Yeah, that
They do, right? It's like always the same actors.
It's Anya Taylor-Joy, who I like actually. Zendaya feels like she's in everything.
Taylor-Joy, who's that?
she's the one. I don't want to say it. She's in the chess movie, and
Queen's
Okay, that's all
Gambit. She's in Dune for a second. She's gonna be like. Have you guys seen Dune?
Yeah.
but I don't remember her from it.
She's in it for. She's gonna play. Oh, what's the guy's name in Dune? The main character's name. I want to
Paul?
say.
Atreides?
Yeah, Paul. She plays Paul's younger sister. Who's in the womb for Dune Part 2 for the majority, but like because she consumes spice at such a young age, she's able to like she's not mentally a child. So yeah,
Wow.
Anya Taylor-Joy is going to play her in the next one. She's also Furiosa in the new Furiosa
Yeah.
movie.
When you explain it, I just want to make that like the Dune noise. You know that music? That's all I hear. Let me tell you something, dude. Bill Skarsgård, is that the older one who plays Luthen in Andor? That
Yeah.
dude is
Yeah.
magnetic.
Yeah, his
He's
sons
so
are good
good at
too.
Dune.
Bill
They're
and
all so talented.
good genes, man. Good genes.
That was probably the highlight of Andor, though, that speech that he gives.
Easily.
Maybe also escaping those imps with his crazy ship. I like that as well.
The whole working on the Death Star prison arc is pretty peak, though.
Yeah.
Especially because at the end, when they show that the pieces that they were making actually go into the Death Star, like just this tiny little cog in that, like that whole machine, and you're like,
I really liked that.
Yeah,
I
that
really
was a
liked that.
cool tie-up. Yeah.
Again, the scale, showing scale of this is what the Death Star would look like. It's like,
I'm looking
holy
forward to Krennic coming back. Ben Mendelsohn, and it's not just because he's an Australian, but because he's a fellow convict. Ben Mendelsohn. I'm so stoked, dude. And it's funny, he was putting on like this British affection, and they're like, no, you're like lower than the normal Imperials. You're going to use your Australian accent to show it. And I was like, that's perfect, right? We sound like scumbag British people, so it's so good. We do.
Scumbag British people.
We sound like the South for Britain, like the hillbillies.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like that he's smiling in every image that we see Krennic in, because it's like he's so sleazy. I love it.
He's stoked.
I like when he turns around in Rogue One. He's like, "So I'm still in charge."
And he gets absolutely cooked.
You'll speak to the Emperor for me. It's like, dude, you don't know who you're talking to. Shut up. You're lucky you're gonna walk out of here at all.
What do you think of the Vader joke when he does the low key like ball height little pincy grip on him? You didn't like it?
hated it.
I'm seeing your head shake.
I don't like when Vader quips. He's matter of fact, calculated, stoic, and his stoicism is, I've always looked at it as like hidden power. So even his presence exudes a lot of power and energy, but his small reactions to the things around him, and how that's illustrated through how he tosses people aside. I just like Vader who is on top and who is not really threatened by anybody.
Well, I think to your point, the one thing I've learned about character development is that if you want to display or convey somebody's powerful, you don't have them say it. They either show it or somebody else says it. So when Vader's choking the guy out in the first meeting in A New Hope, and Tarkin goes, release him. And you see that their power dynamic, number one, Vader's not on top, but number two, he's like, as you wish, and he walks away. Unfortunately, because Krennic's one-on-one with Vader, there's nobody to be like, stop. If somebody else said the quip, then it would make more, like if he he crawled out of the room and someone said, don't choke on your aspirations, I would
have played it like this. I would have had Krennic say, so you'll speak to the Emperor, and I would have had Vader just freeze and then choke Krennic and not even do anything physical and then just walk away.
What if he just like force pushed him through a window into like rolls out into his ship? Like he doesn't say anything. He just goes,
pushes here. You're going
That'd
home.
be funny.
Pushes him
And just
into
like
his ship.
safely lands him back on the ground.
No, kind of like batters and brews. He rolls down like in
Yeah.
Total Recall. He's just rolling a molten rock, but he lands next to his ship alive. Like, oh, thank God, he didn't try and kill me. But it's his realization, not Vader
That
have
would
to
have been
say.
fun.
Yeah,
I think that choking scene was by far that was very badass. Very Vader.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
I liked it. I liked
just
that
didn't.
he
You
was
didn't feel
kind
it?
of he was cheeky.
I prefer something more like apology accepted, Captain Nita, than don't choke on your aspirations. First off, I didn't like the finger thing. I know it's nitpicky, but like
No, I
this
didn't
is how
like it
you
either.
force choke.
And it was low. It was like
Yeah.
a little tweak on his nuts.
I don't know. It didn't feel very Vader like to me.
OT.
but yeah. Like Vader is stoic, he's in control. He doesn't like make jokes.
I think that's it perfectly showed that he was in control because he's just like giving him a little tickle in the
taste.
throat, you know? It's just a little bit like, here you go. Just a little one for you.
I guess I would have preferred if he didn't move at all then and Krennic was still being choked.
Here's another conversation then, like that brings it to it. Like the fact that they brought Dave Prowse back as Vader multiple times after the bad blood between him and George was amazing to me, especially because he couldn't sword fight as well, and they would have to bring in stunt actors. And I thought, why not just use stunt actors? And James Earl Jones is the heart of Vader. But then when I even see Chewbacca, Peter Mayhew, rest in peace to both of them, get replaced, and then Chewie moves in a different way. It actually, I think there is a huge amount of physicality because we do like 90% of our communication is nonverbal. I think I underestimated so much. It's the physicality. So the new actor probably just didn't know what you wanted to see.
It's funny you bring this up because so for Vader 2, I got a long pass that I just approved, but of all the things, it was 17 minutes long. Of all the things that I was critiquing the most of with my guys was Vader's movements. Because it is just so like it's ingrained in us how he moves. I know how that fucker moves, and it has to be like a certain way. Like his shins shoot out first, and he's all legs. He just puffs his chest out, and he's just like he's like a model. He's like dum 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 dum.
Robotic.
There isn't much like leaning forwards. There isn't much of this. It's just his legs shoot out first as he walks. It's like all quad kind of thing. So he does that, right? Like if you remember in The Empire Strikes Back when he walks, especially when it's fast, it's just all because Prowse was a power lifter. He was a bodybuilder, so it was like
it makes sense. But he is very laconic, like you said.
Yeah.
He doesn't waste any movements. But I think the reason why I laughed is because you have had to sit down and you've had to articulate it to your team.
Yeah.
But you never think about it. Like you never break down the points of move. Like there's so many movements in the ankle and the foot, and
yeah,
you have to go exactly put all
Size
your
of
weight.
the stride.
Well, not only do you have to make it realistic, but you have to make it realistic to that character or the actor from like however many years ago. So it's like, and then even now when they have him in Rogue One and stuff, if he moves different than to Dave Prowse because we're so used to it, like it just feels off. And that's one of the main things with animation that a lot of people find jarring is the eyes. When you look at an animated character's eyes, you can feel if it's real or it's not. And then okay, well, this is animated. That's like the main thing with animation today that is like the most difficult to nail is the eyes. Is how they look, how they move, how they like jot around. That is the number one thing. So when it comes to what we were doing, it's like, dude, it's getting his walk right in animated form is like, all right, it's difficult, bro.
I can imagine.
Can't imagine. Yeah, right. But if you don't get it right, you got Stoops in the audience who goes, feels wrong. Immediately.
That's the thing.
Immediately.
Yeah, that's the thing. So got to be very careful with that because I'm the first person to do that. And how many other people that are diehard Star Wars fans are going to be like, it's one thing, and I think this is one reason why we critique Star Wars so much with Disney, is because they'll make parts of it really good, like the music, let's say, or whatever. There's lightsabers in the Force, which is like akin to what George did, but the story is off, or the characters are off, or how they use the Force, or they speak about the Force is off, and so it almost half puts you in this point of like, oh yeah, I believe this. This is like Star Wars, and then but it takes you out because it's not. It's
Yeah,
not
like, and
100%.
don't they call that uncanny valley for people's faces? And I'll give you examples. Luke in The Mandalorian, or even Tarkin. Tarkin was 98% picture perfect face-wise. His voice was on point, but he was just out. And so was Leia. Like, he just out where you can see something's wrong because
It's
of
the
the
mouth.
animation.
It's the mouth and the
And
eyes.
it just pulls you out. And you're like, oh, I'm out of the movie for a second. I'm
Yep.
critiquing. I'm looking at them going, something's
don't
off.
want
And my
that.
brain, your brain,
Yeah.
it picks up and it goes, don't
Yeah.
like
I
it.
think sometimes they get a little bit too ambitious. I know obviously you guys have seen Gladiator, but the actor that passed away during Gladiator and how Ridley Scott had to like frame him behind the bars. Do you know what I'm talking about?
He was phenomenal. Yeah, he was the
Yeah.
ex-gladiator who ran the pen, and he was a really
Right.
famous older actor. Yeah, he was great.
But my point there is that if they just altered the setting a little bit and stacked the cards in their advantage a little bit better, then there he is. I think it would
Yeah.
play better. Like, because
Well, they
Tarkin
didn't-
is just standing there. He's not like, and Luke literally is the full focus.
Yeah.
So, but going back to the stride thing, I just wanted to say that I think Hayden does a really good job at walking like Vader does when he's in the suit. And I love that moment in Ahsoka where he walks out of the portal and it switches momentarily to Vader. I just think that that's so cool.
Yeah, there's so many. It's interesting with Star Wars. There's so many like little nuances that you wouldn't think about until you see a fan film, and no disrespect to fan films. Like I can't even watch the first episode of mine because I'm like just picking it apart now. But like when you see a fan film or you see Disney Star Wars or something that's just jarring, you just have this like certain precedent of what the first three were, and it has to be just like that. So when it comes down to like Vader's walk or how a lightsaber is supposed to sound, like how do you guys feel about Disney changing the way lightsabers sound? Like they do sound different. I don't know if you've noticed. Or
I
anyone in
don't
the
like
chat.
I can say I hate the way they look in Obi-Wan, how like the color is no longer confined to the blade, but it like bathes the whole room just because it offers such gigantic inconsistencies. The thing with lightsabers that has also been bugging me is that they all are starting to sort of sound the same. Star Wars activations used to be unique, and they used to, some of them had that hissing noise, and now it just sort of feels like they all just turn on the same. So yeah.
Yeah, like I remember in the sequels, they're very it's just different.
Yeah.
Luke's sabers just sounds different now. Like when Rey uses it, it's more crunchy. There's more punch to it. It's not the same. Like you can go back. It's not the same sound from A New Hope when he fires it up in Obi-Wan's hut. At all. Totally different. So I wonder, what their thought process is with that. As technology's improved. I always found lightsabers very interesting. So I always noticed that the sounds are you can notice the sound of like Vader's lightsaber in A New Hope, Empire, and Return are all different. There's different what's the word I'm looking for? Not octave. Maybe. But there's different reverberation, bass, ignition, hum. They're all different. So like in like lore, it could be cool if they like did something to tweak with it or whatever, or maybe they activated it with more length or more power. It's kind of fun.
I don't mind artistic license in some things. Like I prefer a lightsaber as a light bat in terms of look, but Clone Wars, I don't mind the sword tip. I like that there's a change, but if you're talking about Luke's lightsaber, I want a consistent through line. If it's the same light, I don't want it to change so much, if that makes sense. So if the property, if say we go to the Old Republic, for example, and they change it or whatever, it makes sense with lore. And I do like the artistry of changing things like a little bit, but not if it's a consistent person in the same lightsaber. I find that strange. It's off-putting a little bit.
Right.
I always loved the sound of Vader's lightsaber in Empire, where like Luke, and that's a good scene where you can sort of tell the difference in the way that Luke's lightsaber sounds compared to Vader's.
Yeah.
You get like the hiss and the activation is longer. I feel like for Vader, it's more of like a Luke turns it on and it's like, and then Vader's it's like a, And I just thought that was so cool.
Here's a good example that you guys will resonate with, I think. Speaking of artists having their own interpretation and being jarring, we've been talking about the Old Republic, but Knights of the Old Republic comic, the fact that they allowed artists to chop between the stories was so jarring. There was no consistency, remember? Some of them were drawn like someone did it on, like sketched on an Etch-a-Sketch. Sometimes it was like a napkin. Sometimes they were the best drawings ever. And you're just like, why are they chopping between the stories? It was weird.
You talking about the cinematics?
No, the comic, Knights of the Old Republic, remember?
No, I didn't really read them, bro.
Flashpoint? No, you got them. You picked them up. You're doing it to me. Yeah. Like Griff would look really weird. The Snivian would look really different each episode. And I was like, bruh, consistency is important a little bit.
Yeah. No, Disney and lightsabers, the Obi-Wan show just like, that just pisses me off. Why even change the look so dramatically? Why? And I hate that screen that they use for Obi-Wan too. The Mandalorian screen. I feel like where it's you can just clearly tell the curvature of like the set that they're on. And it just makes it more obvious when it's bathed like red or blue. I don't know why. I don't know why they would do that.
Damn, bro turned into cyberpunk.
Cyber Dash.
I think we should get to some people's soupies and continue the conversation.
Yeah,
what up, Landon? What up, Robbie Peppers? Oh, by the way, releasing a new... There it is. There it is. Releasing...
Speaking of lightsabers.
Oh, shit!
Yeah.
You having fun with it?
You know, I've had, not only am I having fun, I'm freaking out because like you voiced every setting.
Did you get the SN then? You didn't get Profi.
Dude, I always wondered.
You don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, do you?
These words. This is like the beginner or whatever it is. And you would always say
but
BOGO.
What board
BOGO,
is
BOGO.
it?
I don't know which board it is, dude.
Turn it on. Just turn it on. I'll figure it out.
Power on.
Okay, it's an SN.
On.
Yeah, it's an SN.
Hey.
Yeah, you got an SN, bro.
Happy days. Anyway.
Yeah.
Wait for...
So my voice isn't in the Profi boards. That's like the elite level. But that was your free one. Or was that the...
I just got one in a mystery box. Remember, I bought the lowest mystery box, which has a 90% chance of getting this. Let me tell you something, dude.
Oh, shit. Okay, good.
Well, I don't want to derail this. I love this hilt. The blue is probably not what I would choose, but I'm so happy you didn't send me any free shit because number one, I bought it. So then I was like waiting for it. It was a gamble, but because it wasn't exactly what I actually really love the smoothness. I've been talking about it forever. I would use this, but now I'm kind of like, now I got a grounding for like one I want to buy. So now I got to buy another one. I'm like, ooh, just searching, being like, well, do I want, the hilt? Do I want the guard? Do I want all this? But I love how smooth it is because I always complain, your hand would hit something like.
No, each one's different. Each one has different weight distribution. The grip on that one, it's going to feel different. That one's very light. I was talking to Nick Gillard a couple nights ago on the phone, and we're getting very close to releasing his, which is going to be fucking sick. As well as another Roger Christian, but that's not really for like dueling. That's more like full-on collectors. Yeah, they're all different, bro. They're all totally different. There's also another dual one that I'm creating. It's called the Dual King, and that's like it's got weight calibration on both ends that you can actually take off. So you can, if you want it front heavy, you can do that. If you want it back heavy, you can do that. Or if you want it balanced, as all things should be, you can keep them both on. It's fun. You get to play with different ones.
It's important too, because I've been watching Mike Starwalker and his dueling and how crazy fast he is.
Yeah.
And I realized this one's probably the weight is right here for the best swing up top. And
because of the blade.
He moves so quickly with it. I actually couldn't do it, and I'm like, he's got to have a specialized saber for that shit because the speed, or maybe he's just way more athletic. I don't know.
No, it's just where it's just where you hold it, and then where you put the downswing. So like if I put it here, it's going to operate differently by the time it gets here versus if I put the downswing like back here, or like push faster there. You play with it in different ways, and then you get used to that saber, and then when you switch to another one, it has different benefits and different downsides.
So
Like, for
how's the dueling one going to be weighted?
That one is fucking cool, man. It's really cool. Yeah, I got the prototype downstairs, but we're changing a few things, and it's full stainless steel. It's heavy it's fucking heavy, man. The ignition is in the bottom of the pommel, so you don't turn it off by accident. It's not in the way.
I'm surprised they
Pommel,
don't.
I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, if I actually made my own saber, I'd make it under here, just because my hand has turned.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. If you get another gradient, which is what that one's called, you can put them together.
I saw you've got like a little tool and a thing. Speaking of the
that
tool,
one doesn't even need it. You literally can just thread them
on the pommel. I messaged Theory like 10 minutes after I opened this thing because I hadn't used the tool to like lock it down. It's got these 2 screws here, and I swung it in my office, and the blade bounced, and it just hit my window and nearly shattered it. I was so devastated. Like within
hell yeah, dude. Our blades are
minutes,
strong, man. TXQ makes good blades.
Anyway, sorry for derailing you. It's just Saber update.
Yeah, thank you. Where were we? Oh, I think we were on Super Chats.
Yeah.
What up, Rob? Oh, yeah, so Vader Episode 2 trailer should be out next month. Finally. Which is like, I know a lot of people have been like wanting to see what it looks like.
How long of a trailer is it?
Under a minute.
Oh, shoot.
But that's all you need. It looks phenomenal. That's, it's, I don't know how we're pulling this off like that, but it's wild. This is what I believe is going on with Kathy. George Lucas publicly backed Bob Iger in his proxy war. George Lucas will be announced as Lucasfilm president at Celebration to simplify cutting a deal with Gina, avoiding Discovery. I don't think so, my man. I mean, that'd be nice.
A little bit too far-fetched.
That'd be nice, bro. What's up, Matthew? Anybody here in Cleveland? Because we're going to be there next week. Shout out to everybody in Cleveland. Never been. You guys ever been to Cleveland?
No, but
I heard that they got a lot of pretty chicks with crimson lips. Cleveland Brox. Everybody in Cleveland knows what I just said. I swear. All right.
Anyways, George Lucas can work 2 to 3 hours a day like he did in the early 90s. It's not like he needs to direct. Having him there guiding the direction of Star Wars will get most of the fans back, and Disney knows this. Yes, but I don't think he'll ever come back.
Me neither. I think he's content working on what he's working on, and he sold it, and he's got a family that is important to him now. So
right. Disney going to Discovery would be disastrous. What is this about going to Discovery? What is that?
For the Gina Carano lawsuit?
What does that mean, going to Discovery? What do you like?
They'd have to open up their documents, I believe, for court. Like,
good luck with that.
That's what they're hoping for. They're hoping that there's some crazy stuff in those documents, I guess, that will really put Disney in hot water and will facilitate a drastic shift.
Yeah.
I think is what they're hoping for. That lawsuit's going to be interesting to see unfold for sure.
What up,
my
Spectre?
God.
Yeah, dude, that lawsuit's like, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad, bro.
Yeah.
I hope it goes to Discovery if that's what that means. That'd be amazing. Then we get to see all of the shit that they've been saying and all the weird stuff that's been going on.
Yeah, it'll be entertaining. It'll be more entertaining than the Acolyte.
Spectre says, is there going to be a sale with the Snips Saber release? That's right. The Snips is releasing Monday at midnight. So I'm probably going to be live streaming, chilling with you guys, either here or the gaming channel. Like when we did the Roger Christian, I think I was playing Red Dead on the game channel. But no, there won't be a sale with it. We want to get those 200 out, and they're already discounted as is. with the box and the white bag, as well as the 1 in 200 golden ticket they're going to be throwing with it, which will give you 5 free sabers, which we just gave out. One of those, our second one now is being given out, and we just gave 5 to the last guy.
Someone's about to have a very good day.
Yeah, he like messaged us with we posted it. He messaged us with the photo of him holding it, and then he like chose his 5, and it was like almost $4,000 for us. American. Yeah.
Straight up
he
Grievous
went hard.
with his cloak,
But that's-
pull him out.
Yeah, that's the point of it. Like, it's literally supposed to be like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, man. That golden ticket's not just like 1 free saber, it's 5. And whatever board you want, and whatever sound pack you want. So, yeah.
Huge win. Did you say Grievous theory? Sorry, Stoops.
Yeah, like Grievous, pulling open
That's
his,
so funny.
pulling open his cape, got like
Right. Bankrolled by theory.
Perhaps the ones that you say should want to leave might be contractually bound. It's possible. What up, Rossi? Just wanted to say Theory made week killer for me with Theory Plus clips, video of me and the mother trucking snips sabers. You've been so kind. Plus the Return of Nerd Theory with the Rule of 3. Much love. Absolutely, man. Yeah. I know I was thinking of you, man. When we released that, I was like, Rossi's going to love this.
new icon, Rossi.
Yeah, I thought it was like 300, but I guess it's him. What up, Cloned Avenger? Oh, by the way, shout out to Benjamin. Big shout out to Benjamin. He made the avatars for members that are above 48 months and I think 60 months, which is pretty cool. So finally, those are implemented. So shout out to Benjamin. Albion Entertainment with a big super chat says, "Hey, Theory, Stupendous Wave, and Dash. I'm an OG fan from Peru and just produced my first Star Wars fan theory video. It is reimagining of the sequel trilogy. If it was based on the expanded universe, thought you guys might be interested. Cheers." Well, there you guys go. If you want to check it out, it's Albion Entertainment. And shout out to Peru, man. I've never been.
I've actually been.
Really?
Yeah, I went there on a humanitarian mission to like rebuild a school. It was like amazing. Some of the best
cool.
people ever.
That's cool, man.
How hot is it there?
When I went, it was super hot during the day and it got really cold at night. I went to a village that hadn't had visitors there for 100 years.
Oh, that's my next question. Is seeing a
yeah.
redheaded dude just wander through
Oh,
the heat
no.
in the desert.
Yeah,
And they're like,
redhead,
"What?"
white, tall, like pictures of me were everywhere. Like everyone saw me. It was like felt like a monster walking down the street.
That's awesome, dude, though, that you did that.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
cool.
that's
I
nice.
remember I'm afraid of spiders and
Hmm.
I need glasses. And we were working on the school and I was like, oh man, I haven't seen a spider. Isn't this awesome? And my girlfriend at the time was like, do you want to? And I was like, sure. And she like pointed right next to my hand. And there was just the ugliest looking thing with eggs all over its back. And I was like,
Oh,
I'm never
dude.
going back out there ever again. Take me home.
Dude.
Vile.
What up, Laser? What's up, Starvids? Star Wars news may be light, but excited for another stupendous Dash theory. You guys always help me through work and hard times. Plus, your guys' dynamic is always great. Much love, my dudes. Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Always nice
Hell
to see you.
yeah.
Please check out Everest Productions Plagueis Part 2. I know, man. There's so much I got to catch up on and watch. We'll do it. We'll do a stream maybe tonight or tomorrow or the weekend before I leave. In the name of all that is holy, cancel Disney Plus. How, says Epic Ray Comedy, how would each of you introduce characters like Mara Jade, Revan, and Starkiller? How would you introduce movie or show? Who would you introduce first? I personally would probably introduce. So let's say like I was in charge of Lucasfilm after George. I would probably introduce Mara Jade first, the same way she was introduced in Heir to the Empire. And then with Starkiller, I would probably, To be honest, I would just do the exact same Force Unleashed story, but in live action or in animated form.
I would love a Starkiller series, honestly. Like,
I don't know why they've never done it.
that's who I would go with
It's
first.
too easy, dude.
Exactly.
When you were jumped off, we were talking about this. There are so many perfect stories that don't need to be changed one iota. All of us agree. We wouldn't change it. We'd just release the story as it was. And
Adapt
Yeah.
it.
Disney's like, no, too easy. Way too easy, dude.
Starkiller is a layup. It is like the easiest layup I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Revan is the tough one of the three that they that Ray Comedy brought up. Revan's the tough one to pull off. New era, new Sith doctrine you got to explore. But the other ones, I mean, Starkiller's easy. People love Vader. People love the dark side. People love Starkiller. I bet that would do numbers.
They know the timeline as well. It's not a new concept.
Mm-hmm.
I bet that would do numbers.
No, wait, what up, Nick? No way you guys are talking about this. I just got on the stream. I was talking to my cousin. Need Tales of the Sith and Tales of the Jedi. Too bad.
Tales of the Sith. I know that theory you were a big proponent of that. That would be that would be God sent. I can't believe they haven't done it yet.
No, and they did Tales of the Empire, and it was so bad.
It was so disappointing. The Barris payoff for like over a decade of waiting to see what happened to that character. It was so boring. I've seen that Jedi story a million times.
Abysmal.
You know what's crazy is when I watched the Tales of the Jedi and the anime, with the kind of samurai wandering through the village, and he turns out to have the red saber. Anyway, long story short, I was so enamored with the performance. I looked it up, and it was David Harbour from Stranger Things.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, that's just hire good actors as well as good writers, because he just carried it.
Hey, Theory, just saw the video of you at the con in Orlando meeting all the fans, and I loved it. Are you planning to come to a convention in VA or in a nearby state? My friends and I would love to meet you. I'd love to meet you too, Austin. Where's VA?
Virginia.
Oh, Virginia. Not that I know of. No. We're doing every single fan expo convention except for Calgary and the one that's in the middle of May, but then we're doing everything after Dallas. We're doing.
Where do you head after
Dallas
Cleveland?
including Dallas. We're doing Dallas as well.
See Theory early is my recommendation in 2025, because I don't think he's going to sleep till 2027. So it's going to go down.
Yeah, you don't know if I'll still be around. I agree with Stupendous. I still wish that in Boba Fett show they made Boba Mandalore like in the EU comics and books, like how his father was. Yeah, well, you guys remember when he was showing Mando, like after the Razor Crest got blown up, he was in season 2, he was showing Mando his creed, and like on his gauntlet, and the thing popped up, and it showed Jaster Muriel on there. So I'm hoping that shit is canon, or maybe that's just something one of the devs threw in there when they were just like, I don't know,
playing with a much more interesting story than Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a series about Boba Fett reclaiming his Mandalorian heritage and proving to the clans that he is a true Mandalorian? No.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. Instead, we got Tatooine Part 5, second edition.
So we got Beta Fett.
Beta Fett.
I tagged our pics from MegaCon on IG. I also sent Josh HD video to Nick. If you want it, I didn't have a way to contact you, so I sent it to Nick. Okay, cool. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, Nick handles all the media stuff and Instagram and everything, and Plus as well. By the way, guys, Nick also handles the Comic Theory channel, which I am owner of. So if you guys are interested in any of like my Marvel or DC or like anything pop culture, shows and stuff that we enjoy other than Star Wars, Comic Theory is the other channel. And he's been killing it on there. He's having a great time.
Hustler.
You're exactly right, Dash. Watchmen is awesome.
No complaints there. Frank Miller for the win. Just 1 second. Just Stoops, the fact that you called him back to Fett, did you notice throughout the series he's like, you've been a good ally. Have a drink of my dirty bath water. And you're like, bro. He was always like, take a dip to everybody. It's so funny you called him back to Fett, dude.
Love this group. Keep it up, boys. Love you. Love you too, Landon.
Thanks, Landon. You look like
You're
a
really
budget,
gonna have
Landon.
1K people up at 2 a.m. CST for snips. I'll 1000% be up to cop it, aiming for a low number. Yeah, so it's limited to 200 with the collector's box. After that, it's free reign. But the first 200, I don't know. I know the Roger Christian Saber, 154 of them went within the first 9 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's got to feel so good.
do you have to guard against botting? Like people
Botting?
just taking them all? How they release
so
in
the
graphics card?
No,
And then
yeah,
they
we
botting?
there are a few people that had like several that bought like 3, 4 of them. And we try to limit it to 1 to 2 per cart, but that's not going to stop someone from making like a fake name and shipping it to their friend or something with. So, yeah, I don't know what to do with them, but Roger was very happy. Roger was
Yeah. It's like they say, mo money, mo problems. Though you got to be so just freaked out about what success, like problems that success brings. Like being so successful at selling sabers, you have a problem with people buying too much. That's a weird concept to wake up to. Yeah.
I'd love to get into the business side of things eventually and like talk about them because I know so many people probably have questions and there really is no face to the brand of any saber company out there except for me. So I find the business stuff very interesting. I think I'm very good at it, but I'm also good at it in a way where I don't let that be the front runner. Because I used to be a customer of like everybody else, and I now know the shit that they do. And I'm just like I don't want to do that. So I'd love to discuss it someday. It's kind of cool. But yeah,
look at your documentary shit, dude. Like I love the behind the scenes stuff because I'm never gonna make a saber company, but I sure as shit like now that I've bought one and like I'm getting them back in my hands. I want to like know all of it, A to Z.
I'm an open book, dude. I won't really hide anything from anybody. So if anybody ever wants to ask something, except for like detailed financials and shit, yeah, I'm happy to talk about everything. How we structure stuff, how we do stuff, where the money goes, how much money goes to what, and percentages, and yeah, I don't really care.
Awesome.
What's your social security number?
Yeah, just straight for the throat.
Get the fuck out of here. That's like what's the answer to that. But yeah, anyways, for those who have been waiting, the Snip Saber, 200, 1 to 200 limited editions, with the white beautiful box and the white saber bag that we've never had before, and the chance to win 5 free sabers, will be in those 200. And after that, it's going to be just the regular. So that'll be released Sunday night, 11:59 and 59 seconds, essentially Pacific Standard Time. Or 2 a.m. CST on Monday. We'll see who gets them, man. I hope no scalpers. I don't like scalpers. I hope no scalpers, but I get it. You also got to pay your bills. So. Hot take, not saying it's a bad thing, but do you think that the resurrection of dead characters started with Darth Maul and Clone Wars? I mean, maybe.
I think Star Wars is far from the only franchise guilty of pulling off tricks like that. It just sort of comes with territory on these massive corporations at this point. Marvel is...
Well, comics. I mean, look at that. On a long enough timeline, nobody's ever staying dead.
No.
It's just...
No popular character. Watto's coming back.
Hey guys, keep up the outstanding work. This is by far my favorite podcast made before speed. You guys hear me okay? Because I can't hear myself.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Theory, Josh was saying that your birthday is coming. Happy birthday, bro. Thank you. Forgive me for saying a second time. I'm 2 hours away from Cleveland, so I'll see you next Saturday. It's going to be awesome. Dr. Squatch just released soap. Well, thank you, Jacob. Thanks for the birthday wish. Yeah, that's on the 21st, so the day that I do a live Nerd Theory with Josh at Cleveland, which will be a cool birthday gift. And then we're going to be there for anyone in Cleveland or around Cleveland. We're going to be in Fan Expo Cleveland all weekend, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, selling sabers. And, of course, meeting you guys and filming and doing the vlog and having fun. So,
It's
yeah.
gonna be crazy. First time meeting him.
Yeah, those vlogs will hit different for sure.
It'd be
I know a lot of
so
people will be
yeah,
interested to see
the
that.
energy. Yeah. But
Yeah.
to your response to me, I had to just Google Dr. Squatch. Do I look dirty? Is this where we're at now? I'm just dirty Dash. The convict needs the soap. Well, you're right. I don't shower, so thank you.
We know how you Australians do down there. No, I thought he was talking about Sydney Sweeney. Like that's where my mind went.
Did she do a Dr. Squatch thing?
Yeah, she did like an ad with them or something.
I
She
need to
was,
check
like,
that out
I
for
don't know
she was in
science.
the she was in the tub and like it was all like bubbly and soapy and
I don't know. I've never been on that side of the internet.
like on YouTube.
I don't look at women on the
Me
internet.
neither, Dash.
She called us all dirty boys.
Ooh. No, I'm in. No.
Clancy Brown equals Montross, Star Wars bounty hunter, and Savage.
Legend.
Legend is right.
Your theory: how hard would it be to have a saber customization like in the Jedi games? Can pick your different parts and mitter switch sleeve. Oh, that's funny. We were just talking about that a few nights ago with the team. Yeah, we're. Stay tuned, bro. Let me just say, Theory Sabers is it's what I have planned for it. It is amazing. And we're
Customized
scaling-
sabers, that's some next level shit too.
Yeah,
I
we're
don't-
scaling this to be. We're doing a lot of really cool stuff. Just wait. We're building right now.
High volume.
High volume on.
Present your notes your voice.
Hope I get to meet you in Texas. Malice is a great saber. Thank you, Jordan. Yeah. No, I'll be in Dallas. I'll be in Dallas May 31st to June 2nd, and then also San Antonio in October. Every time Dash says theory, he activates my Siri. God damn it, you just did it to me. I was more upset about the Darth Maul game getting canned. Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yes. Looked great.
Yeah, would be dope.
Did you guys know he was supposed to like fight Crate at the end of that game?
Is
Yeah.
that a tie to George's sequel? Didn't
That
he
would
have
have.
Talon? Right?
Yeah, it would have. That would have.
Whoa.
But not with Crate necessarily in there.
Maybe I could have sworn I read that one rendition was like they were gonna put him away, lock him away, Sidious was, and he was gonna wake up like 100 years later and be like active in a different time period.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
A really sick Plagueis fan film from Everest Productions just came out on YouTube. Have you watched it yet, boys? No.
No.
But I will.
but
I will. A hot version of Tony Soprano with an alien Polly Walnuts would be hilarious.
You could even like just pull everything from him and just have it be super obvious. People would love it.
Like the Penguin? I still have to watch that.
It's
on
not
the first
an exact
episode.
copy. No shit, really.
Yeah. It's
What do you
good. It's
think?
actually really good. I'm almost done the first.
Dude,
Actually,
I
I finished
told
the
you.
first one. I'm on the second one now.
Oh, great.
It's-
Now I got to catch up. I'm not being behind with you guys. That's just
I
what
really
pisses me off.
think the Penguin is an excellent show. It's incredible.
What up, Landon? Sub boys? Love you three. I got the custom made ice pick theory saber a while ago. Any chance we'll ever see that saber's character in a Vader episode? Probably not, man. No, probably not. That was a one-off. But yeah, it's crazy. Like thinking about the few one-offs that we did and like where it started, and it's wild. Thanks for reminding me. Thanks for grabbing one, Landon. All hail Black Sun. What up, Sotico? Favorite non-movie form of Luke?
NJO for me. I like
Jedi
watching
Outcast.
Grandmaster Luke operate.
Mm.
There aren't really that many options, are there? Once you like sift through it
Like
mentally.
there's like obscure like crazy stuff where he does like crazy feats of like he uses the force and like the where he walked on lava and he like did that vortex thing like or flew like, but nothing that really I'm like I would have liked to have seen was everything that he was in the EU when George was around. You know how he like basically said, okay, yeah, the Jedi can feel things. They can have attachments. It's not so much, you have to abstain from all of these different powers and abilities, but it's really like how you use them and your intentions when you use them. That to me was like, okay, this is now the Jedi.
There's a moment in NJO with Luke that I love, and it's when they're trying to track down Jason and figure out why he turned to the dark side. And they go to the Barrandov sages, which are Plo Koon species, basically. And the guardian of the temple says, we have to fight if you're going to speak to my master. And Luke just goes, you're not worth my time, Ben, kick her ass. And he like turns his back to them. And it really surprises Ben because his father has just been humbled his whole life and he's shocked that he did this. But later Luke explains that if he as Grand Master were to fight someone lower ranked from a different dojo, that it would be viewed as like disrespectful and not worth his time. And that's just like such a great Grandmaster Luke moment. That's one of my favorites easily.
That's pretty good. Yeah. No, did you finish NJO?
I'm rereading it. I've finished it before, but now because we're getting into Abeloth, and I want to look into Kaitis more, so reviewing.
Wasn't it? There was a cool moment with Kaitis where Jason thought he was like,
oh yeah,
legit.
And Luke just like grabs him.
Well, he's in the chair and breaks it all down, like just to prove like how powerful he is by contrast. I was like,
Jason is like, oh my gosh, I had no idea.
Yeah, Jaina, right.
Jaina makes a comment later in the books where she says, I'm convinced I've seen 25% of Luke's power. Just, love it. Because he doesn't operate like that. He's not operating at 100%. Luke's operating at 25%. Because he doesn't want to kill everybody in the room.
The Spider-Man rule.
Yeah.
Maybe one of these days. I'll get to it.
There's a lot to sift through to get through the cool Luke stuff, though.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I noticed with Vector Prime. I was like, and then Chewie?
Yeah.
We killed Chewie?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Kind of in an anticlimactic.
I know, dude. I was like, really? All right. He never comes back, hey? That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's stupid. What was the exact moment that Jason Solo became irredeemable in your eyes?
Trying to corrupt Ben, probably.
No Mara Jade.
He's pretty far gone before he fights Mara. I know that's the big one, but Jason trying to pull down others and go for like Luke and Mara's heart really was over the line. I don't know. It was enough for Mara to be like, I'm going to kill this asshole.
Bitch. Use your words, Stoops. Thanks for another night of entertainment, brother. Thanks, Patty McShane. Fallen Order, Vader moves, pretty good. Yeah, it was okay. Moves much better than like Vader in the OT.
Big stakes too. It's scary as shit when he showed up at the end.
I love the way Vader's depicted in Fallen Order.
See,
I love
but
that you can't
again,
beat him.
It's not that he himself says I'm powerful. Remember, it's the reaction of the sister. I think that sells it, where she's like, oh, he's like, oh yeah.
Or Seer when she's like, what did Cal says something like that's not good, and she's like, no, it isn't. It's him. Oh, chills. Chills.
Hey, Theory, can you break the Survivor staff saber into two? And does it include two blades? It doesn't show on your website. Survivor staff? No, but we do have something that I will show you probably on Sunday. I'll be releasing a few videos. What the? Shut up, Siri.
Theory.
I know, every time. God damn it, Dash.
The power.
Do you sell Theory Saber shirts at the cons? Yeah. Yeah. And hats soon, too. Thanks, Relly. Tyrone Magnus uploaded a video on you. Oh, for real? I love Tyrone. I can't wait to see his reaction once Vader 2 comes out. Dude's going to shit his pants. Are you coming to Cali for a con? Yeah, I think we'll be in San Diego in November. Me shouting out chat members got cut in the mega vlog. That was me walking up with Rossi. Post my clip to Theory Plus for my friends in chat, please. Oh, well, those get edited by 2 different guys. So Sham edits the vlogs which go on the main channel. And then from now on, I'm probably going to put all of like the longer stuff, which is like fan interactions and everything, on Star Wars Theory Plus channel, which is like more so if you don't have much time, it's like the clips and stuff, more so like short form content of long form. So, but I think for the like few hour long vlogs, I'll just put on there. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I go back and forth all the time.
I like the hour-long vlogs on the main channel, man. The longer videos.
It seems like everybody does. Everybody loves both. Like they like the cinematic ones, and then they also like the long. I don't know. Yo, thanks, Iro. You lied to me and said the snips were CW era, you son of a bitch. No, Rossi, you're clearly on drugs again, because I would never say that since that is copyright. So, no, you're wrong.
Get cooked, Rossi.
Check out Tubby Nugget. All right. Hey, guys, hope you're doing well. And just shout out to all 3 of you for Stupendous Wave. Been really loving your recent videos, by the way.
Thanks, Brooke. Appreciate it.
What up, Willem? What do you guys think about the channel on the canned Maul game? I know I keep bringing it up, but the more I hear about it, the more upset. Yeah, I mean, this is old news. That shit would have been cool, but
it's difficult to watch the potential, especially when he's spinning that saber stuff, and you're like, oh, like you can feel that they kind of got Maul, and just being that weapon, that arbiter of destruction and death, would have been so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Rossi got cooked. I see that. Yo, Nick. Yo, shout out to Nick. You think there's a deeper thing going on or in the works now that Disney is starting to sell Mara Jade lights? No.
Me neither. I think it's just, look at this legacy character that we own. Bye.
That we never talk about.
Desperation is a stinky, stinky cologne.
Even though she's an awesome female character that everybody would love. Did you guys recently see Sam Witwer talk about how in Force Unleashed 3 they were going to nerf Starkiller hard and reveal Vader has been toying with him this whole time?
Yeah, I didn't believe it. I thought that's weird because he goes, oh, games 1 and 2, Starkiller seemed like he could beat Vader, but then Vader unleashes later. And I'm like, you jack him up. Why would he allow himself to be jacked up that bad near death? You know, his helmet's off, he's busted.
I know.
Like, this is just a test.
I'm just playing.
Especially after the first one. I get the second one, he's like completely fine. He's got no battle damage on him at all. But the first one, he gets ran through. I can read some of these if you want, Theory.
Yeah, sure, that'd be nice. My brain's a little fried.
Rampage Wookie. Hey guys, I love all of your content. Thank you for being here. Question: Darth Bane trilogy, straight from the 3 books. Who plays Bane and Zana?
I don't want to hear it. Don't you dare
Sydney
say it.
Sweeney is Zana.
Oh.
The 10-year-old version? You're sick, dude.
What?
Hey, yo.
Yo, why you going there?
No, I mean, because she starts as 10.
We understand what you meant.
Okay.
We just don't know why you said that.
Because I was like, no, not because of that. Okay. Yeah, I'm cooked. I'm stopping.
It's over for him, bro.
I know, I'm done. The internet, I'm just fade into black.
Bro, just
stop laughing. You're making it worse.
Bro's gone, dude. That's gonna clip and look. That's gonna look bad, dude.
The comments. Oh man.
That's gonna look bad.
I mean,
fuck?
The best part is, I was like, "Don't you say you like Henry?" I thought he's gonna go Henry Cavill for Bane, and I was like, "Don't you do that?" And then I got
No, he's like
cooked.
Sydney
That's why I
Sweeney, and I'm
chose.
like, oh. And Dash is like the 10-year-old version. Oh my god, dude.
No, because Senna starts at 10, so you got to
That's
pick
so
a 10-year-old.
fucked.
I can't watch anymore.
Damn.
Well, now I
What's up,
can't
guys?
say Henry Cavill for Bane. I know. You
I'm
guys
saying
don't see
nobody.
it.
This is the
Nobody
worst.
for Bane.
Moving on. Doing anything non-sarcastically for The Force Awakens 10th anniversary. I want to watch it with family, but I'll ask them to try to enjoy it.
No. I'm not doing anything for The Force Awakens 10th year anniversary. Nothing.
I'm probably going to watch episode 1.
Yeah, it's hard to not be sarcastic because we don't like it really. So it's kind of like, I'm sorry. I love that you're watching it with your family though. I tried to make my wife watch it for the first time. She loved first 6. She just felt she's just nothing. She's like, I can't keep watching this. I'm like, fair enough.
Jessica has chicken pox. Feel better. I had chicken pox. How old are you? I had chicken pox when I was like, I don't know. Must have been like 9 years old or something.
Yeah, same.
It's crazy how you get it once and never get it again.
Yeah, no, that is
Like, what is that
interesting.
shit? And then you just put your like calamine lotion everywhere. It's I don't know.
And then sometimes you get like some people have just like one scar and you're like, what's that? And they're like chicken pox.
Well, what's funny is that my dad never got it. So then when I got it, he got it, and I woke up one morning and I saw him. He literally looked like Darth Maul. Like he was just all white in the face, but like then there were other parts of him that were just like beet red, which were I guess the pox. And he was just all white with chamomile like all over his head.
What do you say? You did this to me.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever catch COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, like twice. I don't know though. I never tested.
Yeah, that was my COVID thing was rough. I was at a music festival in Los Angeles and I was like, uh-oh. This is not good.
What? You just like dancing, you're like having a great time, and you're like, wait a second. Something smells bad on the air.
I was trying not to pass out was what I was doing.
I just stayed home, bro.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah.
I would have paid so much money to be teleported back to Florida in that moment. I wanted to die.
Yeah, I got it pretty bad. I got like a lung one, and then another one was like just fever and like it was.
Wait, did you catch it and then just knowingly go to a music festival as patient zero? Just swimming with people?
No, I got it at the
Comfortable?
I got it at the festival.
Well, so it's like a 3-day festival and you realized you had it halfway through. Because I'm like, how do you
Yeah,
get it and then
exactly.
just realize in the moment, like, uh-oh.
It was sort of like one of those things where it's like I know what this is, but I don't want to like confirm and like ruin all these plans and everything. But it was just, it got to the point where I just could not walk around anymore. It was freaking rough.
Hmm.
I thought it was the sun for like 2 days.
Sunstruck. Yeah, that's gnarly.
Got to be careful what I say here, otherwise Trudeau's gonna lock me up. What up, Vincent? Thank you, Theory, for always being so authentic and staying true to George. And us fans will be listening on Spotify at work whenever this podcast drops. Right on, CB. Yeah, by the way, those of you who watch on Spotify, you can now literally watch because I just got eligible for videos on Spotify, which is cool.
I wish we had like a cheering little sound effect because that's pretty awesome, dude. Like, that's huge.
Yeah, it's big. Yeah, I could probably eventually put that in there. I don't know. Book of Booby Fat. Shame a great boba idea like that isn't being used. What's the Theory comic you're writing about? Ooh, yeah, bro. On page 60. And it is freaking packed. I'm really loving the process. I'm just writing a story that I thought up years ago and always had this inclination to write it, and now I'm writing it. So
You didn't think your
stopped for a while
schedule
and it started up again.
was busy enough. You didn't think your schedule was busy enough. You're like, I'm going to add like really in-depth story, like comic book as well.
Yeah.
On top of going to comic cons every week and podcasts, 2 podcasts up, like you're a maniac.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was like, you know what? Instead of making YouTube content, I can just, focus on writing this book right now. Maybe get it done in like a month or 2. And then I can focus on like actually publishing it. And then doing the comic book version of it, which would be sweet. I think it could be great. I think it has great potential to be like possibly the next Harry Potter. I know everyone
Holy
says
hell.
that.
Can't wait to read it. Especially comic.
yeah.
It's gonna be so exciting to see the comic of your story coming to life. That'd be so crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think some people will really like it. I don't know if it's going to be like a huge hit, but I think some people will really. It's very like George Lucas. It's very George Lucas meets Stan Lee. Meets J.K. Rowling, meets
Tolkien?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're gonna, because I'm thinking of like all of your channels and all your passions just blending. Yeah, smart.
Yeah, meets a little bit of Dragon Ball.
Epic.
Yeah. Trying to think what else. I don't know. It's cool. It's different. People like my fan fictions for a lot of years, so maybe they'll like this one. Would it be called Theories Comic or Comic Theory? No, it's like a full-on. It's going to be like a book, like a 300-400 page book.
A narrative, guys. It's not a channel. It's a full comic series.
Yeah, it's like a book that will be turned into a comic as well.
Oh, you're starting with the book.
Yeah, I'm starting with a book. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure I'd probably be done by now if it was a comic. But
Is there a reason why you decided to go book first, comic second?
I don't know. I can just really flesh out my ideas with writing. I don't really know how to write for a comic book. I like writing all the details and like how the characters feel and like, the weight of the air and like how the fabric on this dude's cape moves or like, I don't know. I like those kind of details. It really draws the scene. And I feel like with that, then I can, once I publish the book, then I can also have someone adapt that into a graphic novel.
Yeah, clever.
Because they'll be able to like totally see what I'm.
Oh yeah,
what I see.
They'll be like exterior shot. The moon has hit the blah blah, and the light is. You're already written all of that for them.
Yeah. I'm very descriptive with my stuff because I see it a certain way and I want to like write it like that. So, I think it'd be fun. It'd be cool. See how it does.
Make illustrating it easier.
Yeah. Will you come to Niagara Falls? What I really would like to do is to make a graphic novel of the Vader script. I just don't think I can sell that because it's someone else's IP. But man, that would be nice.
Could you put it on a Patreon tier as a free thing?
Maybe.
That's what that KOTOR dude did. You know, the dude who did Unreal KOTOR?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He was like, I can't do anything. I can't monetize this, but I've got a Patreon. And I was like, huh. But maybe he's not as big as I can see you getting tripped up more than
Theory's got a bigger target on his back.
Oh yeah.
Let's just state the obvious. Like I'm sure Lucasfilm is
they hate me, dude.
Sitting there with a sniper.
They they hate me, dude.
Copyright sniper, not an actual sniper, guys.
Yeah. But I always thought, it'd be hard to be you because you're hated, but because you're only stating what you're passionate about and critiquing what you don't like because you want it to be better. I love that all the OGs though still love you. You still hang out with Nick Gillard.
Oh, the OGs respect me because I have fucking balls because I don't cave in like the rest of Hollywood.
That's what I'm
just
saying.
To be accepted.
Worth it.
Yeah. No, it's. Man, I'm not selling myself for anything. Or to be in with, I don't give a shit. And if someone's not going to like me because of my opinion on a franchise, on a movie that means a lot to me, well, you're not a very tolerable person. Like, you need to reevaluate yourself. It's weird. It's weirdo behavior. Yeah. But also, like, I have so much dirt on because all these friends are my friends. I know so many things that are like interesting.
You got files on files, the dossier.
Yeah, like I know things nobody else would know, and it's like it's kind of cool, but not in the sense of like I'd ever use that, but it's just like interesting. Don't mean to sound cryptic, but I don't really want to divulge. Hi guys, I made the theory for you about Echo Base. It is scheduled for tomorrow at 5 p.m. I hope you get time to watch and that you like it. Echo Base, like the channel, Echo Base Network.
Stupendous came up with this awesome horror inspired story. He keeps talking about Echo Base being overrun by Wampers, and I think this is what inspired theories is bringing it to life.
Dang, man, I'm honored. I can't wait. I would absolutely love to check it out. Dash helped develop the story too. I mean, yeah. It was just like
I just said like 3 things. Yeah,
cool,
you
man.
had it fleshed out.
Look at you guys. Thanks for everything you 3 do. Hey, Benjamin. Thanks, man.
Thank you, Benjamin.
Cheers.
Aaron Markham with 50 bones says,
Hey.
Sup, guys, been an OG fan since 2014 for Wave and 2016 for U Theory. Thank you, sir. Y'all's videos have made me grow an appreciation to George's legacy more than ever. Loved your latest video on Kit Fisto Wave. Any plans to visit any cons here in Arizona, Theory? Oh, I'd love to. I didn't know there were really any going on there. Yeah, if any like event coordinator wants us out, I'd be happy to pay for my booth.
Thank you, Aaron.
Very
Very nice
thank you,
of
man.
you.
That's a very big super chat for us. Thank you. Hey, Theory, loved listening to the streams while on the job site. Stoops listening to your year 1 Vader vid and its peak.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
What parts of Disney Star Wars would you decide to keep? I'm happy we got Kylo, Mando, Andor, Boba's return. Hope they don't touch the Old Republic yet. They're going to touch everything. All right.
They're gonna
Touch
fiddle.
everything. You know what? I
You're
like
gonna
Mando.
touch it all.
I like. Damn.
You just had to say it, didn't you, dude?
Child,
It was implied, and we just were gonna let it sit. And he was, I'm going.
It's not the Jedi way.
Damn. Crazy. Biggest super chat of the night from Kyle Boyd.
Whoa.
It's $100. He says, I believe Obi used the Force to overwhelm Maul. Another example. When the Jedi face Palpatine, what was seconds to us was instant. What was seconds to us was instant death for them. His presence is so overwhelming, they were frozen, unable to react. Notice how Fisto looked so stunned, like a tunnel vision. This is correct, yeah. It's from the book.
But what you saying that Obi-Wan did that? Like Maul was like, oh my God. Because I thought it was just his hubris. Like he literally just was too overconfident and he just couldn't believe that it happened.
I think that, yeah, for Obi-Wan and Maul, I think that it was Maul's hubris who's just cocky and like, what are you going to do now?
Yeah, that's how I interpreted it. It's more like Maul's failings rather than when it's Palpatine, it's him using esoteric abilities. Or even the way that I thought was super cool is he's been hiding his presence from all of these Jedi for years, decades maybe. And what if he just like turned that off in that moment and he was like, this is who I am. And you guys are
So good. Be cathartic. He was like,
Yeah.
oh, been waiting for Actually, he actually says that line to Yoda. I've been waiting for this. Like, he's like, come on.
Palpatine is a badass, man.
Well, they called him the Shadow in the book. He literally moved like a blur. If you guys were given the keys to Star Wars, what story from the EU or whatever would you bring to life? I mean, Plagueis. Personally, I'm going Bane or Malgus. Love from Nebraska. What up, Nebraska? Yeah, I'd say Plagueis for me. Bane. Anything Old Republic is fun. But then you want to go all the way into the future. We can go to the Yuzan Vong. I think that'd be cool too.
I would straight up rip the Bane stuff. reading the Bane novel last night and just how the battles of Ruusan are described, how all these people show up and they think of the Jedi as these legendary figures and how they're all torn and covered in mud and how half of them are dead. It just like really put the Jedi in the mud of it all. I would love to see that adapted more than anything.
I love, yes. We haven't explored, we know the Sith, us three, I'd say pretty well. The general public who aren't so familiar, just watch the movie, have no idea how much fun it is. And I would love that to be brought to the silver screen. And to your point, Wave, how brutal, how visceral was it when Bane's connection to the Force faltered and he fought that Zabrak who just mauled him, cracked his windpipe, wouldn't even kill him because he just beat the shit out of him. Imagine that on screen.
Those novels are great. They're so like brutal. I would love it. And Bane isn't connected to any of the normal stuff either. And it's just I think a Bane show is just such a home run.
Leia loves huts as much as Anakin loves kids.
All right.
She chose to be captured.
Move to a new city all alone. Your vids help a ton. You're never alone, bro.
That can be hard, man. But give it time. You'll make friends for sure.
Yeah. What up, C-Dub?
Oh, God.
He's
with me always.
Dragon Zord 9. I'm saving your battery, bro. Come on. Yeah, yo, got my theory saber and absolutely love it. Big shout out to Sam C. As I couldn't figure out how to get it to work, and he was super helpful. Theory, you should give him a raise. We just hired him. He's our newest guy, and he's like probably our most knowledgeable too. He's been working with sabers for years. I would say he could probably teach Carter a thing or two even. Which is saying something. Please play Star Wars Force Unleashed DLCs, please. Okay. Been writing my post-Return of the Jedi book about Ben Solo at Luke Skywalker's Academy. Big shout out to y'all for the deep lore videos and recommendations. Finishing in May. Wow, I look forward to it.
Shout out to you, man. That's like his third super chat, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, dude.
But Tico's been around for a long time. Willem says, I somehow didn't understand that you were going back to the beginning to read the super chats, so now I feel like I sound way too enthusiastic about a game that we're not doing. Yeah, we always go back to the beginning. Brother. We always go back to the beginning. We never skip super chats. I mean, unless it's by accident, or we just hate you. Thank you for getting me and others through tough times. Tomorrow, I'll receive my very first lightsaber from Theory Sabers. Can't wait. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Darth Slim. I hope you enjoy it. And I'm sure it's going to be everything you dreamed about.
Congratulations,
it actually
dude.
Is. Yeah, look, like enjoy. I think you'll enjoy the box and all of the accoutrements that come with it. I was flipping through everything like you thought of fucking every. You got a great designer. Whoever does the physical design, even the pages where it's like, check this out, you scruffy nerf herder if you need help, blah, blah. I was like, man, this is a lot of thoughts gone into the design process and it looks great as well.
Yeah. He did a great job on that, and we're redesigning everything again, so it's gonna have a totally new look. We're gonna redesign. We've been redesigning the website for a. The new website is gonna it's gonna look like Apple, essentially.
So like minimalistic.
Wait and see, baby. Wait and see. It is not cheap, but it is gonna make user checkout and like user interface is going to be so pleasing to just like browse the site and like find what you want. I don't want to get into too much details because every time I do, some guy steals my idea and like essentially steals my name. Are you doing any cons in New York this year? No, not that I know of. Not yet. It would be nice though. You see Tony Gilroy with Bix interview live? No, I did not. Is it possible to just get a board? Yeah. Reach out to the team. It depends for like what saber and what board, what font pack you want in it. Specifically, it's the survivor and teacher model. Oh yeah. What was your question again? You wanted me to take that apart?
Attach them? Just
They're
a
both
question
put together.
Yeah. Just a question for you. How hard is it if there's all these other saber companies and you can't use the official names? I've I went through all of them to start to put it all together because I'd hear words all the time and Profi and BOGO and stuff. I thought, what are we talking about here? And then I realized that you had to just tweak things. How hard is it to do that, dude?
The funny thing about that is that with every other Saber company besides mine, they all use copyrighted names. They use copyrighted terms. I spent a lot of time in the lawyer's office with my entire legal team going over, like, are all the other guys doing this? Yes. Would you probably be okay in court if this came to it and, like, you're using copyrighted names? Well, it's up for debate because everyone else is doing it, and it's like, why are they singling you out if they would? Which they probably fucking would. So I was like, you know what? I want to do everything legally so that everything's mine, everything's by the book, and if they're going to go after anybody, then they go after somebody else, for something. But yeah,
that's that's the correct call.
Yeah, so
ripping it down. Oof.
Well, it hurts us in the sense where we may not rank as high for SEO. We may not be as discoverable or whatever because everyone's looking for a Luke Skywalker lightsaber. They're not looking for a prodigal son, something, whatever, a replica. So I'd rather do things by the book, and I like it better that way. So
do you remember back in the day, like 2015, 16, 17, when you'd put out all this merch and you're really happy living life and you love the design, and then every year, just before May the 4th, Disney's legal would do a wash through all the websites and just rip down all the designs. Did you guys ever get hit by that? Every year before May the 4th, my shit, that would just come through and just wash me. And I'd be like,
no. I've always been extremely litigious as much as I can. So I know how to really, like, play it good. Like, I am very legal.
Above
very,
the board.
very legal. I spend a lot of money on lawyers and legal teams for everything that I do. And I just make sure everything is very as much as I can. I might push the boundaries.
Keep it
a little
kosher.
bit, but
That's
yeah,
good.
I do it all my way. Like, I don't need to do that stuff that they do, that the other guys do. I don't want to. Did you know even the term "the Force" is copyright? That's trademark.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hard one, but I get it.
Droid, that's also owned by Lucasfilm. Well, Disney now.
I mean, it's a contraction of Android. That'd be hard, but I guess they can. If they got in early, they wouldn't do it now.
They own it, bro. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying. The business side of it is so fascinating to me. I love it. It's really cool. Yo, loving the con vlogs. Can't wait to go to one. Stoop, you a G. You guys are both awesome with fans. Also, cool to see Josh will be coming back. Yeah, definitely. Yo, CTMZ in the chat. Be blessed, bro. Thank you.
Thank you, CTMZ. I'm excited to see the live stream of that event. It'll be super cool. You and Josh up there.
Hey, mates, who wants to see Tarkin in Andor?
No.
I think it's too early.
No. What are you guys' thoughts on the Snape cast? It's fucking bullshit, dude. Get out of here with the Snape cast. I hate that. It is like, why? Dude, he is in the book, he is described as having pale white skin. Why? Why change that? For what? What are you doing that for? Are we gonna go to Wakanda and make him white? Make Chadwick Boseman's character white? I forgot his name. What was the name? Not a Marvel guy. T'Challa. Are we gonna make him white? What is the purpose of this? This is ridiculous. I don't get it.
I'm opposite.
Never
man.
will.
I don't see the world in color or through that lens, so I'm fine with it. Hire me, Disney.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
I want that Disney money. I think I sent Theory one of those memes just to make him mad because he loves Harry Potter. He loved it.
I'm gonna take a shit on one of my sabers and send it to you next. Yeah, it's just, it doesn't, You're adapting a novel. You're adapting a pre-existing film as well. And my God, you have Alan Rickman, who literally stood out in that film. Why? Why do this? Why like? I don't know. What you could have had him cast as Kingsley Shacklebolt, and he would have been badass as hell. I don't get it.
What company is producing this? Is this going to be
Warner
like a
Bros.
streaming? Okay, is it streaming?
I think it's what is it? HBO? HBO?
I just
I don't
don't
know.
like the gaslighting where they do it on purpose for a reaction. They just get high on their own fights. They're like, we're so forward, we're so amazing.
No, and anybody who
Changing
wants to say,
something.
"Oh, you're racist," for it's like, get fucked.
Yeah, but they do
How-
that.
how-
As soon as it comes out, they victimize them. Oh no, why would you do that? Disgusting. We're so forward thinking. It's like, you bastards. You know what
Go
you're doing.
fucking what the fuck? What do you?
They light the fire. It's
talking
it's
about,
Well,
obvious.
because they get a brigade on their side that just squeals it. You know, it just galvanizes the 1,200 people as their fan base, and it's like you just alienated so many people for no reason.
Well, it's like,
dumb.
where does it stop? Then, if you're gonna do that, then you're gonna do that with everything. You're gonna do it with
No,
everything.
you
then.
know that
They
it's
just do it
a
because they
sliver.
can. They just do it because they can. That's the reason. It's like we're in control. I don't know. I'm not a
Fury
big
as
Harry
MLK
Potter guy.
Jr. Yeah, and like literally, like it's like do an MLK Jr. documentary and hire me. What? Well, at least I'm
Well, you
not.
can-
I'm at least I'm not like white, but like let's
No,
hire
you
like
can, you
a
can
white
tan
guy.
up, man. I don't think they've got a word for that if you tan up too much.
No,
No, there's not a word for that.
yeah. I tan dark, bro. My brown ass tan dark.
Oh, lucky you.
I know. I could be passable. Both theory and wave. I'm surprised of your criticism of Sam's Palpatine, and yeah, it is off.
I don't really
Sam's
remember
Palpatine.
going super hard on Sam Witwer's Palpatine.
Play Force Unleashed DLC. Yes, sir. Will do. Appreciate you, Big Three. Big inspiration for me. Hope I get your level soon. I mean, we want to say like it's like Vegeta. Keep trading.
I actually saw one of his he sent me a DM and I checked out one of his videos, Star Wars Closet. It was really good.
Closet?
Yeah.
What?
Is it-
Yes. Star Wars Closet.
Oh, man, sorry, I was reading the.
Where did he DM you?
Twitter, X.
I'm just making sure. I want you on Instagram. I want Stoops on Instagram so bad because of
I
all the
know.
Sopranos memes, and he won't get on
Dude.
there. And so I've screenshotted them begrudgingly and sent them on X. I'm so pissed. I'm
I
like, I
appreciate-
want him to see it.
I appreciate your sacrifice.
Oh,
Yeah, what's
man.
up, man? What the hell? You got to get on there, dude.
We could
Our
just get,
DMs
like,
are
a
just
three-way-
filled.
Yeah, we could get a three-way chat and just send it to each other. and-
Soprano stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. That's it. You wake up to it. It'll make your day better, dude. Anyway,
I'll
Yeah,
make
it
one.
would.
I'll make one. I'll make like a secret one.
Stupendous Wave 2.
That's funny. Seems like Disney only bought insert once love now shit franchise here. Just the wreck everything out of spite. Seems like that.
Yeah.
I really wonder like what their thought process is. Yo, Shams, bless me with my clip, brother. That would probably be Maddie who filmed that, and then K-Man. Dash, this is your PR? Sorry, but we regret to inform you that you got to clean up your tiny office desk out because of your unhinged comments.
Yeah. It's only a matter of time, dude. On your
This is
instant comment.
This is probably the 10-year-old thing. Judge me by my size, do you? Loving the Grandmaster Saber, tiny saber with a big punch on the fence between Snips and the next Origin Saber. Okay, we got time. So if I were you, I would get the Snips. At least try to get one of the 200s because that's going to be a collector's piece. But the next Origin Saber, man, you're looking at least May, minimum. So I'm seeing Roger in Nashville in the middle of May, and I'm gonna have him sign all of the plaques. I'm gonna bring all the plaques to him and have him sign all of them. So, yeah. Let me just, and I haven't announced this yet, but it looks fucking badass. This next one looks fucking cool. Dark as hell.
I'm jealous you're going to Nashville, dude, with your cowboy hat down the strip. Get to listen to
You
some
can
good
come.
country music.
You can come, man. Hey, Stoops, if you ever want to come to a convention, just let me know.
Yeah, I know that you're doing Boston in like August, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sister's moving out there for medical school, so might be a two birds, one stone type thing. That'd be super cool.
Yeah, it'll be sweet. Yeah, come on down. Theory Stoops, who is your favorite Sith or Jedi? I'd love a piece. I'd love have a piece made for both of you. Alex Assassin 924. Favorite Sith or Jedi? You know what? Jedi would probably be Qui-Gon. Yeah.
I've been rocking with Malgus recently, dude. Malgus is so badass.
I guess I'll go fuck myself.
He doesn't care.
You don't. Oh well.
Don't get too busy on us. I cherish these streams. Yeah, no, not absolutely. No. Life has been getting extremely busy. I'm not going to lie. There isn't really a moment that I have that's free, but I make time for these because I enjoy them. So I like hanging out with you guys. I like hanging out with the boys. And I know they do the same. They got a busy-ass schedule. I mean, Dash is a kid, for God's sakes. Doesn't get more busy than that. And a wife.
This is respite.
And one on the way.
Yeah, hey. This is the time where I can go, I need to be alone, guys. Just give me a little bit of time with the boys. Win.
Hell yeah. Can someone buy the rights to Star Wars Battlefront and make the game fans deserve? Also, I dig the cut theory, or maybe this is just my first time seeing you without a hat. Oh, no, I just had my tat touched up. That's why I'm not wearing a hat. So it's going to look like it's fucking dark and like painted on for the next week and then until it heals. But I don't want to wear a hat because I literally just touched it up. So it's fresh right now. But
Does it hurt at all?
A little bit. No, it would be okay to put my headphones on, but they're just not working. But I don't really want to put a hat on right now because I would just want to let it breathe. So it's like a tattoo, right? But it's like a little needle.
I've never had one. So
Really?
Of hair.
No, the tattoo.
Oh, yeah, no, it's totally
That's
different from
weak.
like this. It's completely different from this. This shit hurts. This
Oh,
shit-
it's like
that-
it's like
that
a
shit hurts.
way smaller needle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it just feels like tickle. It depends where you get it. Like I've only got one, but it just feels like tickling. This is supposed to. It didn't hurt. It kind of stings sometimes, but not really. It's just a weird sensation. I'm not like theory will tell you where it hurts, where it doesn't.
Fuck, dude.
Where's the worst spot? What hurt the most?
This one.
That one?
Huh.
You're like,
Eric,
right-
Battlefront
right in there.
3 is available if you just Google it. There'll be a Discord and you can download Battlefront 3 for GameCube, I believe. Get an emulator. I didn't tell you that. And yeah, you can play it. So they've got a playable version. I downloaded it. I haven't gone through the fuckery, but go play Battlefront 3, dude. The way Visceral Studios, I believe, wanted you to experience it.
Excluding Vader and yeah, Qui-Gon for me. Racer M53 with the big 50 bones. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. I'm assuming you maybe you're not multiple people. You're one. Okay. Hey, just want to say thanks for being a positive force in Star Wars. All this talk of Star Wars is dead, and I just don't believe it. I rewatched the OT, and the magic is still there. Yeah. Star Wars is just in a dark place right now. It's simply
can't
out of
kill it.
balance. Love you all. Yeah, no, I think it's pretty fucked with Disney.
But it's not
but-
dead.
Right. So that's why I've said, anytime you watch the first 6 films, that magic is instantly brought back. Like as soon as the credits roll, it's just a completely different feeling. And it's really special because there's a lot of franchises that are bought out that like just don't feel the same anymore when you watch the old stuff. And I feel like Star Wars, at least the first 6 films, they still feel like Star Wars. They still feel like when I was a kid.
And we're lucky to have each other. I know this sounds a little bit like the end of some Happy Christmas movie, but I listen to you and Theory and Stoops talk about their favorite parts of Star Wars and the passion. I feel like I absorb other people's passion. So you guys as well. Like that really keeps the spark alive for me too. I'm like, God damn, I want to go back and visit.
Yeah. I mean, and the stuff we love is all the older stuff too. So.
Mhm. Did you see the Google Gemini released native image gen? Still a work in progress, but it could colorize any panels you upload. Might help you out with costs. Colorize any panels. Oh, you mean for Vader? No, we're not using any AI on Vader. That thing is like, and if a lot of you, I want to just quickly announce this to everyone watching. If you've seen like the content of the channel hasn't been like the same in terms of like lore and fan fictions and comics and stuff like that, I'm so focused on this fan film that it like once it comes out, you guys will realize like where I've been and what I've been doing and what. So, this is just literally the lull before the storm. And once that thing comes out, the whole world will marvel. They will be like, how is this possible that a small team made this? And it's just passionate fans. That's all it is. And you guys will see. Lucasfilm will see. Disney will see. Everybody will see what we created. And it's for the community. But yeah, no AI being used on that one. It's all pretty much freehand, to be honest.
Here's a question for you, Theory.
Yeah.
How many videos do you think you uploaded this month?
Fuck, I don't know.
20.
I uploaded 20?
Yeah, because I jumped on the channel before, and because I got that YouTube Buddy overlay, it says you've uploaded 20. So it's amazing you say I haven't been uploaded, but like you've literally done 20, it says. It might be wrong. I was like, holy shit.
I probably look at that as in like 20 because they're probably like vlogs and like talking videos, which to be honest, I don't count. So like I like doing lore, like the stuff that the channel got big on was.
Okay. Because I actually like the new era, like the mix. Like I really like behind the scenes. Oh, dude, like I like the lore and stuff. Like I loved the Underworld video because it got me so primed. It kind of brought back all the memories, and then I went and researched it. But the behind the scenes, seeing you interact with people, because nobody ever sees it. Nobody sees it.
It's so different, yeah. And every person is new that comes up to the booth. And like the problems that come up with the conventions and like how we troubleshoot them and overcome them and just the whole it's like a movie. It's fun.
Security members, lightsaber, dueling.
Yeah.
That's you never see that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Life is so fun, I guess.
It's like real amazing. Life. Yeah, it's like
reality Star Wars TV.
Literally like vlogging as a Star Wars YouTuber. It's with Star Wars. It's cool. It's different. But yeah, anyways, to my audience who like misses all that stuff, believe me, like Vader 2 will be worth it, and then Vader 3 will just, your brain's gonna melt. Hey Theory, thank you for everything you do. Any chance you would come to Australia for? I'd love to. Love to come to Australia.
Yeah, I'll piggyback on that one.
Yeah, I'd love to show you guys around. Do not wear glasses, Stoops. You can see some big fucking spiders, dude. You don't want to see it? No, they're not. It's not that bad.
No, I feel like you're telling the truth. I feel like they are that bad.
They're pretty bad, but not in the city or anything.
Just where
By
you
the way,
live.
any plans for Ezra's blaster saber on Theory Sabers? Hands down my favorite. Oh, really? It's your favorite? Okay, interesting. Could do something. You leave my illicit substances out of this. Well, are y'all going to see episode 3 in theaters for its anniversary? I'm stoked to go, and I'm hyped to see it with a buddy who just got into Star Wars. Love y'all. Yeah, we're going to be down in Cleveland, so I'm going to see it with the team.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
That's like the ultimate audience to go with.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
I'm definitely going to go check it out. Maybe more than once.
Yeah. Maybe we'll bring some fans or something too. I don't know.
That's a good idea.
It'd be fun. Just got my Apprentice mystery box with a free saber. Came up on the Prodigal Son V1 SNV4, which honestly, dude, that's our #1 seller. And the editor RGB, no golden ticket, boo. but still a big win. Thank you, Super. Sup, Stupendous Wave.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thanks, Andrew. Glad you like it, man.
I go fuck myself. Every time.
Oh, shit. Long-time troller, fourth-time super. What up, C-Dup? Going forwards, what would you guys do with the Rey character that doesn't retcon anything from the sequels and includes her in a positive way? The chemistry. Love the chemistry. I mean, shit, what Colin Trevorrow was going to do with her in episode 9 was probably, I think the right way to do it, but episode 9 is done. So, shit, I mean, guys, I don't know.
An interesting thing to do with the Rey character. The problem is that she's just not that interesting in any of the movies. I mean, it's tough because that's the foundation. I don't know. I know I said last week that I would accept a good Rey movie, which you guys said you were like, oh, I don't know. It's tough to. I just
Can't
really
look that
don't.
back.
Have her go through some actual shit. Like, have her actually fail. Like lose a leg. Lose a leg. How you
I
gonna?
wanted the leg.
You know.
I thought
Yeah.
about that. They've done the hands back in the day. I actually started thinking, what if she got like a mechanical leg, something for sympathy, a little limp. Give us some hardship.
I thought for sure
Love
that was
God.
going to happen because I mean, Anakin loses his in Clones and Luke obviously in Empire. So I thought that something.
She just doesn't lose
That
anything.
moment, Snoke, when she squares up on him, I thought, oh, she's cooked. And that lightsaber, when it flicks around and hits her in the noggin, I was like, that's the dumbest thing. Like,
It's like played for comedy.
Yeah, well, what do you expect?
Oh, yeah, fall down a hole. That's all I got. She just trips and falls. She's gone. I literally thought of that. Then he said in a positive way, and I'm like, well, you cooked me.
Damn, John with the gay comment. Did you know Obi-Wan drank Qui-Gon's gin? I didn't know that he sucked off Qui-Gon. Thank you for telling me.
What?
Can you break
I heard
into
that's
two?
the clip.
You break into two, and does it come with two blades? Was the original question. Yes. Yes, of course. If it is a staff in the photo, it comes with two blades. You can break it in two because it's two sabers put together. Hey, big fan. Do you watch any Indian movies? No, I don't.
RRR rocks.
Like, you mean Bollywood? No.
That's the only one I've seen.
You know any good ones?
RRR is pretty good. It's got some really fun action in it. It was they did like the dance at the Oscars a few years ago, if you remember that. No, I would check it out. It's like 3 hours. It's hilarious. It's great.
Oh, shit. Great.
It's on Netflix, I think.
Thanks, CTMZ. Thanks, CTMZ.
You be
Always throwing
blessed,
that 50 at us.
CTMZ.
And another 5
Oh.
members. That's crazy. It's Suki Yuki. She says, just got here and I heard pale white skin on a guy. So this is a male Snow White. LeMayo. Hello, everyone. Love you all. Snape would be a male Snow White. Yeah, I guess. Waiting for Lily's kiss. What do you guys think about them possibly doing the Gorman massacre in Andor? Right. So, I mean, they could have Tarkin just literally drop down on people. That'd be crazy. But I don't know. I don't know if they're going to put Tarkin in there.
I'd be super surprised, honestly.
Can't wait to try to get a Snips. Would be my 6th. Well, technically, it'd be your 6th and 7th. Because it comes with 2. I'm excited for those reviews to start going out, man. Like, once people order that one, once it launches, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be cool. That box is so beautiful. You guys will have the video review out this weekend. Hello, you all. Glad I could catch you all this time. What up, Suki Yuki? I'm at work and I'm very bored. I love you, Theory. You too, Stoops, even though you don't like cosplay. And I can't forget you, Dash. You dashing man with a badass accent. Damn, there you go.
Finally.
Bro.
Finally. Thank you. I'll take the
There
pity.
you go.
Pity, love. That's what I live off, baby.
Thank you, Suki Yuki. Adam Driver would be a perfect Snape. Yes. Now for a dumb question. Danny DeVito as Hagrid. That'd be great. Danny DeVito as Professor Flitwick. Shout out to my Harry Potter theory channel. We're about to crack that 800K subs.
Ooh! Congratulations.
Oh, wait, have we already? Hold on.
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito's Hagrid. No, we're at 712,000.
Tickled Stoops with that one.
It's just like when Peter Dinklage showed up in Infinity War. It was just like, that's just... Oh, it's like, of course they did that. Ugh.
Sam sounds too young. Also, theory, would you make a Malak saber? That would be cool. A replica would be sweet.
Danny DeVito is Darth Bane.
What up, Sasha Trey? I'm begging for you to play Force Unleashed DLCs. Damn, bro. I can't do it right now.
I killed Ewoks. It was fun. I have no regrets.
Did you kill Leia?
I did it all, dude. Back in the
Stoops,
day.
I had no idea there was black Sith lightning. That's crazy to think about.
That's NJO stuff. That's Jaina. Thanks for watching the video, man.
Have y'all watched Invincible? I didn't watch season 2.
I haven't
Season
watched season
2,
3, but my
season-
shorts, dude. Are they on your shorts yet?
Season 3?
No. Season 2, I think it's like this for me.
There's a
But
season 3?
Yeah, it just ended. Season 3's finale came out
Oh
last
shit!
night.
I thought this was
So
season
good.
2.
No.
I've seen
You got
half
2
of it
whole
in
more
short-
seasons to watch now.
Damn.
Don't let Penguin slide too bad though. But watch Invincible.
Oh, dude, I don't have time for this shit. Maybe on the plane. Alarm set for 1:30 Central Time Monday morning to order the Snips Saber. Can't believe it's finally here. That box and the sabers are beautiful. Well, I wish you luck, man. I know there's going to be a lot of people trying to gun for that thing right at midnight there, Pacific, and I hope you get it. I hope you get the golden ticket, too. Tyrone Magnus made a new video about you, says Charles Smith. If you ever sell Savage Saber, call it Behemoth. I'm going to call it Orange Horny. I would love to see a story about Anansi, African spider trickster, instead of this blackwashing that's going on.
Nice
Yep.
profile
I
pic.
apologize, Dash. Who is your favorite Jedi or Sith?
No, don't do that. I love getting anyway. I'm not telling you now. How you like that? I flipped the script. How does it feel? Marinate. What is that? Mango?
Yeah.
Dried mango?
No.
Ooh,
Wet,
love
juicy mango.
so good.
Underrated.
My favorite. My favorite fruit.
Mm.
Nashville's 7 hours away. I might make the drive. Hell yeah, dude. That's not bad. We had a guy drive up from Texas to Orlando. It took him 18 hours. I saw him at Space Con, and then I saw him again at Orlando. He drove 18 hours up. Which is actually, funny enough, that's the length of our drive from Florida to Cleveland.
Oh, you're flying here first, and then you're going to drive to Cleveland? Oh,
No,
I guess
the boys
inventory.
are driving with the truck and trailer. So I'm excited for everyone to see that in the vlog. You guys are going to see the trailer for the first time. It's going to be great. Josh is going to be at the house with us for like maybe a day.
So you film yourself going over the border?
What?
Didn't you drive it from Canada?
We transported it down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the truck's down there. Also, Stoops, will you be in San Antonio at SpaceCon with Theory in October? Can't wait to see you again. Theory, may the force be with you.
I don't know. We'll have to talk about it. I think the next one is going to be Boston, though, is what it's looking like. And that'll be in August. But I'd never been to Texas, and I would love to go. I could read this one while you eat the
I'm working on
mango.
my visa right now, actually. Today was the day I signed the papers today.
Oh, congratulations, dude.
Yeah.
You're going to join us.
I know. Yeah, literally.
One
Did
of
you do
us.
interviews and
One
shit?
of us.
Yeah.
The latest vlog was stupendous, was amazing, heartwarming to watch. Thank you. Hope Dash is next. Need more J Theory shenanigans. We all got to go to Australia.
Oh, that'll make my life too easy.
I want to go.
I'm to Australia.
I want to see some dangerous shit.
Oh yeah, you get here and be like,
Using it to help
Dash,
out Korean.
this is
Oh,
Mad
my
Max.
comics. Oh, thank you. I thought you meant Vader.
Theory,
From the
just
Phoenix
watched some
Arizona.
vids from right before The Last Jedi came out. The hopefulness in your voice for the sequels back then made me sad. Can't wait to find out who Snoke is. Thanks, Disney. Yeah, that was a good era. It's a good YouTube era.
I know,
It's
man.
fun.
Lots of hope.
I was so excited. I was so in it. I was so like entranced. They just took me right out.
Yeah, just one movie.
Beat me
Another
long enough,
one
you know?
from Racer M53. In the long run, Star Wars will be fine. You should check out all the struggles Transformers has had over the years. It's resilient. It's a resilient franchise that can change when something stops working. G2 to Peace Wars. Yeah, I think Star Wars is salvageable. It's just not good now.
Thank you, Racer. Shout out to almost 2,000 people here. If every single one of you can hit like, that means a lot. And if you can all punch yourself in the face, I don't know. How cool would it be? I'm just kidding. How cool would it be if he told me to do it? Sue him. How cool would it be if George Lucas learned about your childhood dream to build lightsabers for him and he decided to buy one to support? Oh shit, I'd probably cry.
Yeah. The appropriate reaction would be to cry.
Probably.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. 20 for Dash's ego, you sexy beast.
Thank you, Counselor. I needed this. You've lifted me back up from the ground.
A Mandalorian smuggler game in the style of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes.
Or a trooper imperial agent in the style of Call of Duty. I think Mandalorian smuggler.
Yeah. Call of Duty's too much just first person, faceless, less lore versus
Too Battlefront
I mean,
like.
yeah,
Yeah.
Red Dead too. That we want open world so bad, dude. We want it. Rockstar knows how to do it. Well, I don't know if they can anymore, but we're about to
Apparently
find out.
Eclipse is still happening.
What?
Apparently, a lot of things are still happening.
Yeah, no. The Eclipse game, there's an update it's still going on. Let's see. Yeah. Everything's like they're still working on it. It's still planned to come out. Cool. What you guys thoughts on Dune? It's okay.
I really like Dune Part 2 a lot.
I like
Dash.
it. Prefer Star Wars.
Well, yeah.
Starring Jason Statham as Princess. Idea for a Saber Hut Slayer, where the area around the emitter has a collar shackle look and a chain soldered to it, wraps around the maroon hilt. That would be cool. That would be really neat, actually. I'll take a photo of that because that's a sweet ass idea.
You're being ironic, right? Jason Statham, Prince Zizor. What you doing, lad? Come on, fella. Like, what? Statham, really? You're messing
What
with
you
me.
do?
So, yeah.
Check out RRR Salar Vikram Bahubali.
Yeah, I've
yes.
seen RRR. It's good.
Would you mates listen to Chris Lee, Count Dooku sing metal?
Love his Christmas death metal songs. Switch it up.
Man, you Uno reverse carded me. That's fine, Dash. I guess yours will be a mystery character.
Never. Thank you, sir, so much.
Make it Embo.
Jedi or Sith?
I was about to answer, and Theory's done it for me. Plagueis, but Darth Scabrous has a special place in my heart.
That's so deep cut.
I hope Theory Sabers makes it to Phoenix Fan Fusion this year. What is your guys' fave Clone Wars episode? For me, it's the Mortis arc. That'd be cool to go to Phoenix. Never been.
I think the Umbaran arc is so good.
Mm.
That's a tough one. There's no. I'm trying to
Dash's
think.
one was when the droids were singing, I think.
I was about to say, I literally, because I was thinking of like all the droids teaming up, and
Yeah.
who's Meba Gascon? That's
Is that his
peak
name?
cinema.
Shit.
Meba Gascon, the little frogman, because Stephen Stanton voiced him, and I got to meet him a bunch of times, and he said he really liked it. And I don't know, he actually played that droid in Rebels who sang like Alan Rickman, you know, that when he's in space.
Yeah.
Can you believe they fucking did that? The
No,
balls,
I
the
can't.
chutzpah.
We'll be coming to MO anytime this year. Is that Montana?
Minnesota?
Minnesota?
Could be one of those.
That'd be cool. Never seen it. One of the guys on our team is from Minnesota. Missouri. No, I've never seen him in Missouri either. The chosen three of Star Wars, like the Force, they surround us. Hopefully we don't penetrate.
Yeah, I know. I was about to say, like, what? Standing around, you don't want this.
Or do they? Theory, make sure to play the DLCs.
He's gonna play it, bro.
Bro, all right.
He's gonna play it.
You're right. Just keep donating. I will. Are you coming to New York too this year, or J Boston? In New York, we don't have any plans yet, but I mean, I'm open to it. Yeah. Great news! I pulled it off. Going to make it to Cleveland. Can't wait to meet you on our birthday. Right on, Eric.
Hey, happy birthday.
We got the
Happy
same
birthday,
birthday, and Eric's
Stoops.
also left-handed, which is cool.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they tried to kill all you guys off.
They tried.
Hmm.
There's still a few of us that mutated. Can the sequel trilogy be given a new cut by JJ and have added footage and cuts to enhance the story similar to what George did with the OT? You know, man, sure, but is it going to be fixed? No, it's still going to be like trying to eat your dinner on a piece of shit.
Yeah. I was going to say, there's an old saying, you can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear, meaning a pig's ear, but that was, I mean, that's poetry.
I thought you were gonna say like eat your dinner off of like a nicer plate, but the food is still terrible.
You know,
like,
yeah,
eat
I was,
it off
I was,
a piece of shit.
I was actually really trying to G-rate it, and I was just like, nah, screw it, dude.
Of all the things I expected you to say, of all the possibilities, I don't
Yeah.
know.
No,
I
I was
just did not
trying to be
expect that
polite.
one.
I was trying to be polite and eloquent, but then I'm like, no, it's why? It's okay.
Oh,
Last one, Peter Dinklage as Voldemort. Loves yous. Love you too. Have you seen Star Wars 212 fan film by Hoplite? Yes. Did a
Holy
reaction to it. It was
shit.
cool.
yeah.
It was very good. What up, Ice Phoenix? Love you guys. Been loving all you guys do. Stupendous. Loved your vid on the Sith code a couple of weeks ago, especially the code about passion, power, strength, and victory. Really spoke with me.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I tried to speak Sith in that video, and I think it
Oh, shit.
wasn't awful, which is good.
A fellow linguist, capital.
Oh.
Anybody can guess where that's from? No. All right. I'll just go fuck myself. You have to play Force Unleashed DLC. That's going to be the new thing. Rossi is just going to... Yeah. All right. Very well. It'll be done, my lords. Thank you,
sir.
Assassin. Phoenix Fan Fusion Con is June 6th to 8th. We're around for that. It'd be cool to make that.
What's fan fusion mean? It sounds like a food thing.
A bunch of fans are fusing. They're using the fusion dance.
Oh, well.
I hear there's lots of
Better than
fusing
docking.
in these things.
The Brit guy in Last Sammy. Yes. BT Diaz. Got it right. So did the Tommy Shades. So did Oblivion Ado. Damn, you guys got it. Pretty good. Pretty damn good. Theory, have you thought about doing Cameo? I think that, yeah. So, I don't know if it was the founder, but it was like one of the really high up guys. How many years ago was this? 2017? 2018. It would be 7 years ago. He actually was really doing a great job of being persistent to reach out and get me on Cameo. And I told him no. As many times as he reached out and tried to get me on there, and I told him no because I don't know. I just felt weird about it, like people paying me, like my fans paying me. But then I thought about it. I'm like, well, he was like, well, it's the same thing as a super chat, and I'm like, I mean, I guess. I don't know. I just felt weird about it at the time. What do you guys make of this? No silence.
I was thinking about
I'm
like
thinking through
forcing
it.
you to say shit you didn't want to say for money. I was like, I'm gonna pay theory. To
I
say
honestly
something.
don't see
Yeah.
a problem with it at all. I mean, if it's a
there's
personalized
no
message,
problem. There's no problem with it. I like super chats in the sense of like, shit. I mean, it's just some super chats people send I just don't read. I'm just like, I don't want to read that. But for the most part, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Something felt weird about it.
well, the super chats, it's like a more of a communal thing too, where it's like you're
Yeah.
bringing it up to not only you but like everyone else watching. We're all just hanging
Yeah, and the
out.
topic at hand, and
Right.
like, you know, I don't know, because whenever people ask me to do like videos, it's usually at conventions where it's like, you know, like my buddy Jeff couldn't be here. Can you wish him a happy birthday? And they like put the camera in my face, and I never charge, of course, at conventions. Like, I
Yeah.
just like no. So I don't know. I just felt weird about it, so I never did. But
There's a difference between like Star Wars interactions and like human interactions. Like one is based around the channel and I don't want to say product, but like the IP. And the other one is like a human connection. And you feel strange charging for the human connection. I think that makes sense.
I don't know, man. I don't. You know, I'm not gonna shit on anybody who's doing it.
No.
But yeah, I don't know. My gut told me no, so I just didn't do it.
It's the way to go in life.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Okay. I just bought the HP fan fiction book Manicled. Have you read? And should I read the original Harry Potter books beforehand? It doesn't matter. I don't know what the fan fiction book is, but the original Harry Potter books you should read, yes.
Always read the originals first. Always.
I always thought Order of the Phoenix was the best book. I know a lot of people don't like that book, but
I'm guessing Dash likes Darth Talon. By the way, is Theory going to play Force Unleashed DLC or not?
Respectfully, I just wish you had put some clothes on. Oh, you're doing it to me again, you sons of bitches. That's it. Guys? All right, let's go to chat. Could Ray work if she... They're not really leaving me on, are they? How can I get a Dash autograph? See, Denton, I like that. I like that a lot. If you want to peer, you're not going to leave me like this for... Oh, God. I feel like Garth in Wayne's World, where like he melts when the camera just goes on him. I'm like, he's got a big head. All right. Okay. Keep it coming. I'm going to read non-super chats until I'm allowed out of this hell. Mouth cam when? No, that's my greatest fear, dude. With uh-oh.
You're doing great.
That
He was
really
dying.
hard.
I was watching him crack. He was dying in the background there. I was looking at his like little videos. He was
He's
Bro
just
was-
like, okay,
was
we're
losing.
doing this.
You've been there
Tonight's
before.
Templar.
You know what
Oh,
it's
it's
like.
tough. It's tough. Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
I'm
I actually
laughing
feel
so hard.
sweating. I'm like,
It's like
oh.
it's like jumping in the deep end and not knowing how to swim.
Well, the thing that really kills me is that with braces, that I brush my teeth more than ever, and I feel like my teeth are always yellow. I'm always saying to my wife, my teeth are yellow, and she's like, "Stop being paranoid." But they're more yellow than normal, and I get so paranoid about it. So like when I saw my face on the big screen, I'm like,
I feel that, dude. I feel that.
They look great. But
Just
Ray
you guys
work
gonna
if you
talk?
turn-
Just
Don't
the
you dare
evil
do-
little
Yeah.
thoughts in the back of our minds, huh? That just pick at
You
you.
just gotta embrace them. Be like, yeah,
Yeah, but we're not you. You've had years of doing this. Nothing, it just pings off you. That's your superpower.
I didn't have the evil voice in the back of my head. I had it everywhere in the classroom.
Wow, that's messed up.
You get used
but
to
yes,
it. Yeah, it's a little fucked up, I guess. Like to see the dark humor in it.
Stoops and I are precious.
Can I get a Dash autograph? I mean, you can ask him. Yeah.
Anytime, dude.
You guys watch Daredevil Born Again? Negative.
No.
Did you watch it, Dash?
Stoops is tweeting about.
You
not
said
yet.
you were
It's on
going to.
I'm going to. First, it was you and Josh talking, and I'm like, "Fuck, I gotta watch this now." It came out of nowhere. They didn't even act like. Josh was like, why aren't people watching it? And I was like, I just saw it in my feed of Daredevil's back, and then suddenly you were tweeting saying how good it was, and I was like, it's out. Like,
yeah, I think the opening sequence in Daredevil is great hook.
You were hired to create a new Star Wars movie. What would that movie be like? New characters, a war between Wookiees and Ewoks? No, it would be about young Palpatine and Plagueis.
I'd like Bane. I'm rereading the second Bane book. Is just like, give me all of that.
You're meant to be reading Plagueis.
I know.
No, we suck. We suck.
I can't help it.
Theory, have you considered playing the Force Unleashed DLC yet? Also, Dash, I loved your KOTOR videos where you going through all the dialogue options. There's just so much lore in that game.
Thanks, dude. I was talking to Cantina Law last night about like wanting to go back through KOTOR. Takes forever. It's like 100 hours again.
Stoops, I know we're at 3 hours now. We're almost done.
I'm waiting for the phone call. I haven't gotten it yet. If I get it, I'll step aside.
Well, we're almost done anyways.
Yeah. That's why I keep looking at my phone. Sorry if it's obvious.
I didn't even notice.
Okay.
Last one for the night, I have poses from Plagueis and Jin. But is there a particular pose you'd like Malgus to have, Stoops?
Yeah, actually, if you're drawing something, can you do like when he throws the lightsaber? You know,
Bro,
the
just
cinematic.
have him just 2 middle fingers up in the sky.
So you're telling me this man donated to be like, I'll draw you pictures, and I told him where to go before. I am so sorry, Alex. That's horrible, dude.
Well, I didn't say anything mean to him. Thank you, Alex.
How did George get the Shakespearean actors? Alec Guinness, Peter Cushing, Ian McDermott. Maybe George likes Shakespeare. Maybe he likes good actors.
Yeah, they all like theater is like intrinsic to like a lot of actors have, you know, Broadway or theater or Shakespearean backgrounds, and it's natural back then. Like I think TV and movies was looked down upon more for actors. They always talk about like kind of Shakespeare is the pinnacle for them, but you see the class that they come from. It's a cut above a lot of people.
Can you please react to me? Hello, Samuel.
What type of react? Oh.
Can you please react to me? I am 11 and I love Star Wars and I did my own sequel. Right on, man. Keep writing, dude. I'm going to be a fantastic writer one day. Keep going, man. 11 was a very magical age for me.
That's the worst part I've ever seen.
All I cared about 11 was my next Wolverine toy. Could I get the one with the mask that goes on and off? Whew. Retractable claws. I was all about that life.
That was some next level shit. When you saw the ones with the claws that came out. Ugh.
My grandpa stepped on his arm and glued it back on, and he forever just had like an extended broken arm.
Oh, Dash, I wanted to show you. I just remembered this. I got a Mayfield.
Hey!
Yeah, we were talking
Ginger
about
nuts.
Yeah. I got Bill Burr, Star Wars Bill Burr.
Billy Balls, forget about it.
Forget about it. Holonet here. Good to have you guys back. Stoops, I enjoyed watching your deep dive into the Sith code. I was wondering if you're going to make another Sith ship related video.
We are. Thank you for asking. Yeah, we're going to cover the ancient Sith Empire's starships and then probably the Jedi after that. Yeah, from like the Malgus era, those interceptors are so cool.
You'll be shocked playing.
He's becoming more unhinged. He can't spell the capitals.
He's literally created a meme out of nothing.
Mashing the keyboard. There I.
Yeah. Well, that's the end of the super chats. And Stoops, I know you got to go, and I got to wrap this up too. And Dash, I know you got another child to feed.
I do. Wait, I wonder if we can end it like this.
Oh.
When's your baby due? Oh, sorry.
When's your baby?
No,
Yeah, when's the baby due, Dash?
June, July. End
Oh, he's having another
around-
one.
Oh, soon. Yeah, he's
totally
having
forgot.
another one. Yeah. Double trouble.
Yeah,
How old's
202.
the current one?
16 months, little jet.
I was going to be like 16.
Yeah. We had the worst week last week as well because he was riding a bike and he picked up a straw, like nobody saw him do it, and fell off, and it went into his palate. So it went into emergency. There was blood everywhere. He's all good and healed, but just like they say that once you have a kid, your heart is outside of your body. It is so much, so difficult.
He's okay
sorry
and
if
everything now, though.
Yeah, he's totally fine. I'm sorry. I'm just like, I keep
No,
saying to you
you're
guys,
good.
yeah, it's great being a dad, but I'm freaking you out. No, yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you have a name for the new one?
We find out the sex on Monday, and yeah, my wife has a short list of names, and I just battle to get some. Like I got Jet, and obviously Jet Lucas. I was like, I'll take that. That's pretty dope to have like a Star Wars inspired name that's not exactly, and but yeah, a bunch of them.
Are you hoping for a boy or girl preference?
Girl, dude. I've got a boy because then like I don't want to be one of those people that has like 5 boys in a row and then they just keep going till they get a
Yeah,
girl.
he's just doing that so nobody can call him sexist for hanging out with us. He's just hoping for a girl. That's all.
Right. No.
What?
That'll be my karma.
I have a daughter. What do you? Hey.
Use her as a prop. Yeah.
A shield.
No, I want to be known as sexist. I'm just like, give me the ists and the phobes. I'm the bad guy.
That's actually my goal.
That's
My goal. What do you think I'm on here?
wild.
Bad PR.
Wild, bro. Shit, bro. That's crazy. It's fine, my man. No worries. I'm just so happy that I actually am interacting with you three. Love you guys and want to show my appreciation. Also, I won't be the one drawing. It will be commissioned. Dude.
Alex, man, you're so generous.
Dude.
Thank you. Thank you for stopping by, buddy.
Stoops, it's Alex Assassin 924.
I'm sorry. Alex Assassin 924. You are so generous.
Get it right, unless you want to be assassinated. My cat just took a dump and stunk up the whole house. Thank you for sharing.
Sometimes it be like that.
Thank you, bro. I'll have to come down to Victoria to find out if the baby is force sensitive and into Joey's.
That is the worst joke. This is the worst joke, dude.
Joey's? Kangaroos?
The baby kangaroos. Waiting for it to clip.
Please subscribe to Ed Sheeran Star Wars. Damn, bro.
Rossi. When he gets on those death sticks, he changes his profile picture. He gets the 2015 Force Awakens.
He's on
Yeah.
one,
He gets
dude.
out of control.
He's
A
like,
cross
you
guard,
told me it was
Rossi."
the CW. We've been talking about it for like 6 months. And it's like, bro, just making shit up. Dogging on Stoops. Dogging on Dash. Bro, just changed his profile picture. He's a whole new person. Crazy. Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, well, cool. All right, I'm out, dude. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it for me. All right. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video and, of course, next week. And stay tuned for this summer when me and Josh... I guess next week we won't have a show because I'll be busy. Well, no, I can set up the show if you guys are available. And I can pop in every now and then. But it'll be like the last one where I'm just setting up.
I'm going to be
Totally
at
up to you.
Busch Gardens with the fam because, the day before your birthday is my birthday. So
Well, I'll just go fuck myself then. No problem.
Happy birthday, dude. I'll just
Yeah.
run it solo. Just me melting.
yeah,
for
we'll
2
just have
hours.
Dash out to just.
Yeah, you literally
Flash,
could, dude. It could just be, yeah.
I do not want to do. Oh, fuck. Hey, guys. Oh.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, man. We'll figure it out. So we love you guys. The
Love you
Snip
guys.
Saber is releasing this Monday morning. So essentially Sunday at like 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. So the first 200 get the limited edition box and the beautiful white saber bag, and 1 in 200 chance of getting 5 free sabers of your choice with the golden ticket. So best of luck to you guys. Be on your computers just a minute before and refresh that screen. Hopefully you get in. So love y'all. Hope you have a great day. See you in the next one.
Much love.
Bye.
Ah, Mando! They all hate you, Mando. Mando, only you, Mando. Welcome back, Mando. Mando. Sorry for the remote rendezvous, Mando. What about you, Mando? Mando! Things got really heated once Mando crashed the safe house. That was impressive, Mando.
And you're sounding like a separatist.